look, you've gotten worse, bro. So now what I want everyone to understand, this is what I want everyone to understand. There's a new sheriff in town, and his name is Arteta, and he's here to dominate the league for the next few years. There's a new sheriff in town, and it's Big Teta. Big Teta, the Arsenal, we're back. We are back. The Invincibles, they're nothing. They're nothing compared to what the next 5 years is going to be. Big Teta and the Arsenal have rolled into town, bro, on the chariot made of gold, bro, whipping up horses. We're going at 100 miles per hour. The Pep reign of terror is over. There is a new sheriff in town, and it is us. You're all pissed. I'm telling you now, you man are all pissed. All my ops are in hell. Aston Villa in hell.
No, I'm chatting to him. He's just chatting to him on the bench.
I wonder if I'll get away with it.
No. You man, deep in it. He was going to bring on Salah, yeah?
Look how much space is on the right-hand side, you man. What is this?
Oh, my.
They're trying to get him sacked.
I'm done, bruv. I've got kids, bruv. It's a Friday. Why am I doing this? I'm done. Bye, man.
Listen. By the way, just let you know.
Brother, oh my goodness. No, man. He's looking right across the line. Dimwit, bro. Oh my God. Right there.
Cal's crashing out.
Bobby, got someone right. Oh my God. For the life of me,
no. Man fully crashed out. Hey, man, he was at home just watching the game. Man forgot he was definitely on copy.
For me, you man.
I prefer really not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble. In big trouble, and I don't want to be in big trouble.
Of course, guys, Ram is late as usual. Nothing new. Oh, thank you for coming, Your Majesty. Ever since he cut his hair, you know, he's been thinking he's the shit now. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another stream, ladies and gentlemen. It's the end of an era. Salah, last game for Liverpool. Robertson, last game for Liverpool. Jones, last game for Liverpool. Possibility of it being Alisson's last game for Liverpool as well. And I'm sure I speak for the rest of the panel when I say we absolutely enjoyed watching that game. That was a phenomenal, sensational game of football. It was electric football, end-to-end, chance created after chance created. Honestly, you couldn't get your eyes off it. That was some elite football. It showed us the future of Liverpool under Arne Slot, and we are all so excited. Just take a look at the face of everyone on the panel. The excitement is dripping from our faces. Pause. The excitement is dripping. We're all excited. We're all so happy. Can't wait for next season to watch Arne Slot football at this football club. Big up to all of you guys. All the links are in the description. Emeka, you can find exclusively here. Mike Das, LFC. Beige and Reds TV is where you can find Pops. Fam Zone TV is where you can find Dean. The Ram Stand is where you can find the little hole in the bottom left called Ram. Make sure you guys are liking and subscribing. We've got 600 people in the building already. Let's get the likes up. I don't want to keep interrupting the show to tell you to like and subscribe. Wearing this Egypt shirt. Big up Mo, Mohamed Salah, big up, the Egyptian king. So hit the like button and subscribe, and let's just get straight into it. I want to start by, Mike, I'll let you decide. What should we start with? Shall we start with the board? Shall we start with the game today? What topic should we even start with?
Whatever. I mean, I didn't watch the game, so whatever you guys want to start with.
What should we talk about? Is there even any point talking about today's game, or should we just talk about the board? And
I don't think there is. Even if they did win, even if Liverpool won 35-0, it was a pretty inconsequential game. It's just, Mo Salah leaving with a year left on his deal, Robbo exiting, losing another midfield, probably your most competent midfielder. Saying goodbye to him, and that's a very incriminating statement. To say that Curtis Jones is your best midfielder is really bad. Like, it's not supposed to be disrespectful towards Curtis Jones, but that's not a good place to be. I hope Alisson doesn't go. But I also hope he does, because he doesn't deserve to deal with this football club. He deserves to go somewhere else and go out on a high. But yeah, I mean, you could start with the board. You could start with Arne Slot. You could start with the fans. I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to get worse before it gets better. People think that this is the low. I think that those people are highly optimistic. I don't think that this is rock bottom. I think that we're just slowly descending towards it. And as long as we're owned by FSG, titles are just a afterthought. They're like the sprinkles on top of the cake. But hey, you still got cake, so don't be ungrateful, right? I bought you a cake. Don't be ungrateful that it doesn't have sprinkles or icing. Be grateful that I buy you a cake. Be grateful that you have something to eat. Do not complain about it. That's sort of how I feel about FSG. It's nice when they add the icing like last season. But then we just lost the only guy who could provide that icing in Mohamed Salah, because last season was Mo Salah. It was not Arne Slot. It was not Liverpool. But yeah, it is what it is. So just, either accept it or be angry. I've come to acceptance. This summer is going to be great. Not hearing about Liverpool. I can't wait for the World Cup. And if Arne Slot's here, I wish the team good fortune. Good fortune.
Dean, are you convinced he's gonna leave still, Dean?
Sam, you see today, yeah.
Yes.
Every week I say, I think I've seen the worst performance. Every week I think, yeah, this is worse.
You see, by the way, sorry to interrupt you. The chat is calling you out already. Besides Dean, anyone still thinks Slot is going? Like, do you actually, after watching today, do you still believe it, Dean? First,
no,
and then you can tell me about the
He
performance.
has to, yeah, I believe he's going. I still believe he's going. Yeah, for the mere fact, what I've just witnessed, yeah, is beyond anything else I've seen. I haven't seen. We can have bad performances. We know Salah and Robbo's leaving. We know that you couldn't just a bit of energy. I'm not even asking to win. Just a little bit of energy. I'm not even asking to play well. I just want some energy. I was watching that game. I've been out all day. It's been hot. I've got back just in time to do my watch along. No lie, my eyes were open, and some points in the game, I must have fell asleep. So I'm thinking, hold on, what happened there? I didn't know what happened. So my eyes are open, but I'm falling asleep. I had the game. You cannot, if Richard Hughes was there, there's certain people there watching this game. There's no way they've seen this happen on numerous occasions. What on earth? How can they make a decision and say, you know what? Yeah, we can run this again next season. Regardless of what players you get, it's still the style of football. There's no energy. There's nothing to us. We are just a shadow of a team. We are just there. I was watching Brentford, yeah, and they were just walking. They had the ball and they was walking about with the ball. They didn't even care about scoring. Until we scored, then they said, you know what, let's go and equalize. And they equalized straight away. Because you know what? Anyone can score any sort of goal against us now. Just put the ball in the box and it will drop to one of their players. And that's what's happened all the time. We are a shadow of a team. And if they can't see that today, obviously we've seen all season, but if they can't see what they saw today, the last game of the season, a sunny Anfield, and no one could turn up. Come on, man. There's no way this guy is still here next season. There's no way at all. Can't see it. Mm-mm.
But okay, here before we go to everyone, please, Dean, convince me. Why will he leave? But forget from your perspective, from the club perspective. Why will he leave? What has shown you that he will leave? I want to be on your side, but like, convince me, man.
Remember, I've been watching Liverpool for a long time. Everything is quiet. They do things quiet in silence, yeah. And to see the fans leave, boo, not today, but during the season, we're seeing new lows. You're seeing Slot out at the training ground. They're seeing all these things, and the thing is, it's not just that. It doesn't take a genius to see what's going on the pitch. Like the players, when they talk to the players, which they will do, or the senior players, they can't. Their body language can't lie. You can lie with your mouth, but your body language don't lie. I'm watching players on the pitch. They just look like, oh, cool. Like this is like when I say things like this, yeah, I've had loads of discussions. People say, "Oh, it's Richard Hughes' man. Oh, it's Richard Hughes. He'll feel embarrassed if he." I said, "Listen, forget all that. This is a business. You can't just go to FSG. Richard Hughes can't say to the FSG, you know what? That's my man. Just keep him in charge. There's got to be pinpoints why you're keeping him. You can't just say, oh yeah, you know what? Just run it again next season. He might do better. There's so much things to go off this season on why he shouldn't be here. I do not believe a competent, which FSG are, company will stick with him. There is no reason, and I don't believe that reason, we won the league last season. I don't believe, Jota's death is a reason. I don't believe players' injuries. You're just watching players. You've got 11 players on the pitch. Forget the players that's not here. You still got 11 players on the pitch. You're not going on the pitch with 7 players. You're going on the pitch with 11 players, and not one of them look convincing of the style of play what you're trying to enforce on them. They look like strangers. So I just can't see how they say to themselves after they have the review and have discussed everything, yeah, let's go next season. Maybe if everything runs your way, if all the luck goes your way, it'll be better, because that's what you're running on. You're going to run on luck now, because you're not running on facts no more. You're going to be running on luck. All the things that you said didn't work for you this season, you're hoping it works for you next season. And business, like, you don't run business on luck. You run business on facts. That's how I'm seeing it. They're competent owners. Competent businessmen will make competent decisions. That's the only way I can rationalize it.
Emeka, you were disgusted today. More than usual, to be fair, even. What tipped you over the edge?
Listen, man, for me, and I was with Dean for the longest, right? And my logic was the same, that competent.
I'm gonna put you next to him. Here we go.
Yeah. My logic was the same, that competent business people, at least that I thought they were, would make the competent business decision. But for me, once that Xabi here we go came, it was like that was a real eye-opening moment for me. And I think all the hopium and all the blinder, that wool over the third eye is basically gone now. Like, for me, I can see very clearly that we're not as well run as we might have thought we were. Because I feel, again, people can say what they want about style of play and this and that. I just think in the moment, in the situation we were in, this was almost like a free layup. Xabi right there, the player, he's played for us before. He wants to come to Liverpool if we approach him. Had a horrible season that looks like, I get the coach wants to say injury, but we've really only been injured at the striker position and the right back position. We've more or less had everybody else that's there. So this whole injury thing, I don't buy it. And for us to now go into next season and think we're just going to sprinkle in a few players and we'll be okay, I just don't think it's realistic. And for our board to look at it that way is a real concern for me. Because I know we love to banter the ops, we banter, the Glazers, etc., for poor decisions. Like, we have to just start looking at the decisions our board has been making the last 2 or 3 years. Like, we're not headed in the right direction. There's been a lot of misses. And when you look at the direction that the league is going, Pep's gone now and the league's wide open and we're not the best position to capitalize. That's just the truth of it. Before you even look at the coach, if we just look at the player quality of the pitch, that gap isn't there. What? That gap isn't there. Like, our attack right now going into next season is Gakpo, Isak, and whoever you bring in at right wing. Like, there's a lot of teams that can say their attack is just as good as that, if not better. It's just,
there aren't.
The quality
best attack in the league, 63 goals.
Yeah, but it's just the eye
slot.
It's just the eye test.
Slot.
It's just the eye test for me. Like, these Isak, I rate, Hussam, you know that. But a lot of these players, it's just the eye test. They don't pass that eye test for me. And I just think when you're trying to win leagues and trying to win Champions Leagues, you need a certain level of quality that I don't trust the board to bring in. I don't think it's there in the team right now. And if we want to focus on anything Salah has said in his exit when he speaks about the standards, he's letting it be known that when I used to go into the gym early, there was 5 or 6 or 7 players that didn't do that before that started doing it when they saw him doing it. And what he's saying is that all those players are gone. This new group of players you brought in, whoever in here, whoever you can name, whether you like them or dislike them, he's basically saying, these guys are seeing me do that and they're not joining in. So whether you like Wirtz or not, whether you like Zobo or not, whether you like Gravenberch or not, name whoever you want. He's saying these players aren't showing that mentality to want to get in the lab and do the extra work to actually be great. So that's a bigger problem than anything else to me. So yeah, Slot, he needs to go. That's clear. But who are we going to bring in now? Like that option was there and that boat has sailed. So I don't have, my hope is just, it's at a low, even firing him now doesn't fill me with hope because you're bringing in a novice. People are telling me about Honus and all these guys that are like, yo, they haven't won anything. Iriola, they haven't coached at this level. We're basically doing the same thing we did when we hired Slot. It's not good enough. Shabby was the obvious pick. He's someone that has managed at this level. He has won at this level. So he's gone now. So whoever you bring in, like, I'm not getting excited for it. Like, the mistake's already been made. So if the board wants to clean it up, it's going to be on the pitch with the quality of player, which is why I said the board is on fraud watch for me now. So you guys made this decision. Let me see what you do with this summer. How are you going to increase or close that gap with the teams that are above us? Because everyone's going to spend. Everyone's going to buy players this year. So who are we going to buy that's going to be that step above our opponents now? That's the question. And I just don't see that quality of player that's available. And we're not, obviously, our coach isn't going to close that gap either. So the reality of it is that our team is not moving in the right direction right now. Like, we can have hopium as fans, and that's what being a fan is about. But if we're being real, the direction of this club is really scary right now. And I just don't see our ownership. It's clear that they don't care about what's going on. So this could be the start of a bit of a slip for us if this summer is not perfect. Because, as I said, I'm done with the Slot talk. Like, even replacing him now, I'm not. That's a novice coming in. That doesn't put us in. It might put us in a slightly better position, maybe, but the biggest thing that's going to put us in a better position next season is getting the right players. That's the most important right now, in my opinion.
There is copium, hopium, and now there is dinopium. You know, that's a new type. That's a new type of drug. You get me? Dinopium. I'm gonna start using that on YouTube, JW. Thank you. You get me? I'm gonna start using that. That's one of my new bars now. You know, Pordine saying, "Oh, the club are gonna look at him, and there's no way they accept this." Yeah, the other clubs wouldn't have accepted 9 out of 12 losses either. So, yeah, so deflated about Mo. He's monumental. Big up, lads. That's what Becky is saying. Thank you so much, Becky. I appreciate you. And yeah, I agree with you. Today it was deflating seeing him come off the pitch as well. And Arne Slot got his last little disrespect done by subbing him off in the 73rd minute as well. What a disrespectful little bald bastard. Anyway, big up to all of you guys. Please hit the like button, subscribe. Guys, we got 1,000 people in here. We're not even at 200 likes yet. Your return is worse than Arne Slot. Imagine. Slot did 3 in 12. You're currently at 1 in 10, so that's even worse. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so. Please close the live chat, like the video right now. Subscribe, go follow me on the Instagram. The link is in the pinned. And yeah, big up to all of you guys. Pops.
Yo.
What are your thoughts on all these Slot conversations, brother?
I gotta be on Dinopium because I gotta agree with Dean, to be honest.
Pops, yes.
I can't look past the season and say that he should be here. 60 points last season gets you 9th.
Huh?
60 points last season gets you 9th.
There's no way that's true. Let me check right now.
Check.
No, it's true. It's true.
While you check, I'll just continue to agree with Dean. You see?
Brighton
60 points actually gets you 9th place.
Brighton in 8th got 61 points. And Bournemouth got 56.
That's actually mental. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Carry
on. Sorry.
If we're sat 9th right now, we'll be saying, oh yeah, 9 and 12. It happened. That happened, and he wasn't released at that point in time. In my opinion, when that was said, I always felt it was a numbers game. For me, it was all right. What have the laptop geniuses come up with? No. All right, here's what the calculations are, projections are. We're still going to finish top 4. All right, so every time people said, Chiesa saved him his job or they saved his job, I said, in my opinion, nah, he's set. As long as he's still in the Champions League and he's in touching distance with top 4, which then became top 5, unfortunately, then he still had a chance at keeping his job. No. At the end of the season, and you evaluate, you say to yourself, all right, yeah, you landed in 5th. You didn't win 5th. And 5th is an embarrassment for the champions anyway. You didn't finish in the top 4, which is where you usually qualify for the Champions League. And at the beginning of this season, for me, I said, all right, there's 3 people that can win this title. It's us, it's City, and it's Arsenal. So for minimum then, again, in my opinion, would have been 3rd. Forget 4th. That's just my opinion. Again, I'm still seeing it through the eyes of art. If you really look at everything that happened for the season, even if you said in the summer, or you know what, forget football, life happened, whatever happens at the end of the season, you still here. Even if you said that then, now when you look back and say, all right, I know what I said in the summer, but having evaluated everything that happened in the season, this isn't sustainable. Unfortunately, we're going to have to part ways. I'm going to allow you to say your thing, and we agree that we release you on mutual consent, or whatever you call it, and move on. I don't agree that Xabi Alonso was necessarily the savior for us, or whatever the case may be, because he hasn't done anything in the Premier either, to be honest. If you look at the manager league or the head coach league or whatever, it's similar to strikers. When you were looking for a striker, you're saying to yourself, like, how many top strikers are really out there? How many top managers are there really out there? Pep's just left. And unless we are really serious in saying, all right, let's go and ask Enrique a question, you're looking at someone where it's going to be a gamble ultimately anyway. So Alonso, as much as, he played for us and he had a connection, he would have been a gamble as well. I'm not saying that means that we should not gamble. I'm just saying that it's going to be a gamble.
That's what I'm saying. A gamble worth taking, you know?
It's going to be a gamble. So wherever you go is going to be a gamble. I'm not an Iraola fan, to be honest, but some people probably say, well, I'd rather go with him than what we have. Don't know. I don't know who the answer is as far as who's there. I wouldn't, to be honest. And it's just like the players. You can go and find a player that no one knows, or a little known about somebody, a Salah type, Mane type gem that you're saying to yourself, all right, one of those. Oh, let's get one of those in. And all of a sudden, you change the style and you get what you want. Because as Mike just said, we had the 4th best attack with this, whatever we call this. We didn't have a style of football. We somehow managed to score the 4th most goals in the league. Imagine you get a proper style and you do have a Vert still and an Isak, and you keep them fit all season, and you add a Rio, and you add somebody in between Rio and Gakpo at that level in terms of that, and you get the right side right. Now, there's a lot of ands and getting right for it to work out, but ultimately that's not our job as the fans. That's what you pay scouts for. That's what you pay the coaches for. That's where you spend the money on. You spend the money on the laptop nerds, or whatever you want to call them. All of them in conjunction should be saying, yeah, we know exactly what we need based on what next season is going to bring. And the other thing is, I feel there's going to be a rule switch in the Prem as well. So all that grappling and grabbing and all the physicality, some of that's going to come down. Not necessarily in our favor, because it's just going to be, again, the refs and VAR doing whatever madness it is. But you're going to need to find the right spot to land in. We do have some of the tools. Ultimately, it's getting those things right. And summer is very short, and that's another problem. You got the World Cup. A good player that you're looking at today, if you don't get him today and he goes to the World Cup and has 2 good games, all of a sudden he's doubled in price. But the key is to figure out whether or not the guy that you got sitting in the dugout is the guy that you want to keep in the dugout. For me, I don't think that answer is yes. That answer for me is no, thank you very much. You want a Supreme? On to the next one. Figure out who that next one is.
Do you think the club will sack him though?
Like I said, I don't think it will be a sacking. I think they'll make it this mutual agreement, wherever, you know, he's decided that he wants to move back home with his family, wherever Ajax is there as a Ajax right there open, I think easy for him to jump into. And his wife and kids are still in Holland. That's the easy move, easy exit.
Mm-hmm.
It might be Dinopium as we're gonna use it now, but I hear you, Dean. I holding on strong. Now I holding on to that one because logically I can't see why it goes the other way. Explain to me why it goes the other way.
Mm.
What in the season says he should stay there? Yeah, we backed him. We've heard the board's back managers in the past. How many managers? Yeah, we backed him. Yeah, in the next 2 weeks, through the door.
Mm-hmm.
Ram?
Where do I start, bro? Where do I start? Well, I can start off with one thing. It takes, I'm going to use a saying, it takes years to build a castle, and it only takes a couple of seconds to burn it down. That's exactly what's happened at Liverpool. I think everyone's talking about managers, players. Where's our identity? What is our identity at the football club? I want someone to ask this. Sam, I want you to tell me. Dean, Pops, Emeka, Mike, what is our identity?
To bend over.
Other than getting bent over.
Failure, I'd say, is our identity now.
Actually, profitability. Profitability.
The whole point when it comes to these top football clubs, they have an identity of how to play football, and they see it through to the end. You saw it with Barca. You're seeing with Bayern Munich. That's how they sustain their success in their leagues. You saw why Real Madrid are struggling, because they're in a mess. They're in an absolute circus. There is no identity. That's the same thing with Liverpool. We've spent the last 8 or so seasons, including half of last season, building up this identity about intensity, making it difficult for oppositions to play at Anfield. Fast, direct, high-tempo football. And we've gone from one facet of football to the complete opposite. And look what happens. We're 5th. What was it like? Well, I was on Coppish and someone told me there was a 53-point swing come from us to Man United from last season. 53 points. And I'm hearing this manager talk about we need to evolve, injuries. You know what? We've already got plans for the summer. Who's going to do that? Who's going to save us? I guarantee you, if you give Kvaratskhelia to this guy, he will ruin him as well. It's like giving a laptop to a baby. What do you expect a baby going to do with a laptop? It's going to be destroying shit. Like, it's crazy how the guy has so much belief that he can still play the way he's playing football and believe that he can win football matches. We saw Ruud Gullit for Newcastle. It didn't work out. We saw Frank de Boer, one of the worst ever managers in the Premier League history, in English football history, lost 8 games in a row trying to play this style of football. The one thing I'm vexed about. The one thing I'm vexed about is the fact that the hierarchy have allowed this to happen. I don't know if they have a vendetta against Klopp or the fact that they hated the style of football that he did. I'm sorry, that is the style of football that we know and the style of football that we won stuff with. Even Rafa Benitez didn't play like this. Rafa Benitez was pragmatic and difficult to play against, but he was never boring. Every time he knew what was going to happen, give it to Stevie, give it to Fernando, let them do their thing. That was the style of football that we played. When in transitions, we always make the most of it. That was Rafa to a T. That's what we played. Even when we were dominating teams, we scored 4 or 5 under Rafa. But for this manager, the arrogance and the fact that Robbo and Salah are leaving before this guy, when for me, especially Mo Salah, I think he's not a problem at this football club. I still think we could get a season out of him at best. The fact that he's still here and they're gone, just right off next season, man. And I'll tell you this: I like to point out similarities, right? There are similarities between what Arsenal were going through under Arsene Wenger in the latter years to what this Liverpool team is doing. You saw how Arsenal were declining under Wenger in the latter years. This is what's going to happen with Liverpool. And guess what? Man United, at this moment in time, there's similarities between that Man United team under Carrick to what we were under Klopp, building ourselves back up. Do I think Michael Carrick is the be-all and end-all of management and he could take them to the promised land? I don't think so. But they can bring someone in. They can get to steady the ship and bring someone better and then go on to win the big trophies. Some people at the football club need to wake up and smell the coffee. And do you know what? We need to understand what we're trying to do, because I don't know what we're trying to do. I don't see it in the football pitch. I don't see it in terms of the transfers and everything like that. I don't know where this football club wants to go. And it's a disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace. You talk about this time last season. Hussam, we were all excited going into the summer transfer window. We can get this player. We've already got a decent team. Let's start to build on what the success that we've already got. Now it's the complete opposite. Complete opposite. Any player that we sign, I ain't going to be hyped. Why? Because I need to realize that the manager, if he's still here, is going to be managing them. Ain't going to get the best out of them. So let's just write off next season if he's still here, man.
Sam?
First of all, I hope everyone is all right. Separately, hope everyone's doing well. It's been quite a difficult season for me. Outside of it, I haven't been on here as much, mainly because my father died a month ago. So it's been quite a difficult season, just generally, and Liverpool have not helped it at all. But what can I say that I haven't said since November? It's sometimes I listen to what everyone says and I'm just smiling like, hey, listen, if I want to say it, I'm going to be repeating myself. But at this point now, I'm at this stage where you have to accept that Slot is still going to be here for the next season. And FSG, Richard Hughes, Michael Edwards, you have to get the players that he wants for even it to have a decent season. Now, there's this question that's been ringing to me the whole time, and I've been very confused. Very confused. Is Arnie Slot's plans and FSG or Michael Edwards or Richard Hughes' plans coincide with each other? And the reason why I asked that is because FSG splashed out money on Isak and Ekatike. But the way Arnie Slot plays, you will think that the wingers are the star players and not the strikers. So why did we spend so much money on the strikers? And this is what has been confusing me a lot. I keep on saying this. You make Gakpo and Salah ISO wingers. And when I'm talking about ISO wingers, I'm talking about guys out and out wingers, try to beat their man and then create the goals or the opportunities. We know Gakpo and Salah can't do that because they're more inside forwards. But you kept on insisting on doing that. We have world-class strikers. Obviously, Isak was injured for most of the season, but on Isak and Ekatike, and you don't play to their strengths. Confusion at the most. You splash out how much money on Wirtz. You're playing Wirtz left wing, right wing, false nine striker, but not his actual position. Centre attacking mid. So again, I have to question, where is this going? Like, your plan for this club, I could see where you lot were going to in buying these players, but Arne Slot seems like he wants to take a different direction, which doesn't make any sense to me. And yet you're gonna double down and keep this man. We've got 60 points. Let me tell you how embarrassing this is. Bournemouth had the chance to get Champions League today ahead of us if things didn't go our way. Bournemouth. The season that we came fifth on the Klopp, we had Europa League. Slot, you lucky bee. You're lucky that the rules changed so that fifth gets Champions League. Because if he doesn't get Champions League, I'm certain for this, they're sacking him. Because Champions League is everything to FSG and these lot. Because that's when their minds start changing about certain things and they don't double down on certain things. So again, I don't know if they're looking at it thinking, oh, do you know what? Let's wait until the World Cup to get Nagelsmann. I don't know if they're looking at it thinking, let's try to persuade Luis Enrique. Because most likely it's like we're sticking with him with another season. And if you are going to do it, which I have to now, and I've for months now, I've had to come to terms with it. Cool, if you're going to stick with this absolute rubbish style of play, then you have to give him the wingers that he needs. You have to give him the CDM that he needs. And then you just roll from there. But I'm out of words. Like, I can't. This is the first time I see a future where I'm very uncertain with Liverpool. Very. Where we go from this, I do not know. And it could be another season like this. Very likely to be another season like this. I do not blame the players at all. Because when you play in a system where they're not used to, they play a certain type of way. You're putting players in different positions where they're not even used to. How do you... I mean, I got onto Salah, got onto Gakpo, I got onto certain players early in the season, but it was because they weren't doing the basics that I know that they can do. But later on in the season, when I was just seeing what Slot was doing, I was just thinking to myself, for goodness sake, how can you blame them when Slot is... I'm going to end this. In today's football, most teams, their success rests on the manager. It used to be, back then, it used to be a lot of the star players. Yeah, you have a system, but it will really be on the star players. But now the way the football works today is more systems. The managers are the star players of today, i.e. the Klopps, the Peps, the Luis Enriquez and stuff like that. What system works and how you get players into your system. So if we're doing that today and we have Arne Slot as our coach and manager, it's looking kind of bleak. That's all I've got to say.
I want to do like a open floor after this. I don't want to keep saying like, you tell me your opinion, you tell me your opinion. In terms of like the club future, I think we're in a very dark place right now. Because of this as well, Dean can have his Deanopium as they called it, earlier on in the chat. But Arne Slot is getting his own assistant as well at the football club. Nothing will make us all happier than Arne Slot getting sacked. Unfortunately, I don't see it happening. And I really want to take a look, at Liverpool's future, because this is truly an end of an era. Big up to all you guys. 1.1k in the building. Hit the like button, guys, and subscribe, please. Big up to MG Gunner, says Campione, Campione, Campione. Enjoy it, brother. Congratulations. Well-deserved champions this season. That's something definitely Emeka was wrong on this year. So big up to you guys. Hit the likes, subscribe, and I want to take a look at Liverpool's future because, as I say always, like, there are certain things. Who has a bird next to him? Someone has a bird next to him, right? Or am I imagining stuff? Someone definitely has a bird next to him. But anyway, regardless, Liverpool's future is very dark right now, unfortunately. And, you look at the position we have put ourselves in with keeping Arne Slot. And I just don't see this football club's future in a good place. I just don't. Today, I take a look at the Premier League. I disagree with the Carrick thing Ram said. I think United will definitely fall off next season. I have no doubt about it. Alonso taking over Chelsea with 1 game a week, that'll definitely make them better. So that's an opponent we have to worry about. Arsenal are going to improve. They're already speaking about Barcolas and Kvaratskhelia and blah, blah, blah. Manchester City, I know with Enzo Maresca, they'll have a slight drop-off, but that could also have the slot effect from the first season where they get a new voice and win the league anyway, because their team is not that far off it, you know? They were just 7 points behind Arsenal. I look at our football club and it's just what's happening at the football club is just disgusting. Today you see Richard Hughes watching. The decisions that Arne Slot makes on the pitch are the most nonsensical decisions you can make. Gravenberg further forward on the pitch than McAllister, despite him being better defensively. Like, what is Gravenberg going to do from a creative perspective? Nothing. McAllister further deep, even though Gravenberg is better defensively. McAllister is better going forward, just making all these basic pitch mistakes. You know, you watch Rio Gomoa, and it's like when we give him the ball, they're all just sat there watching. You know, what can you do for me, Rio? You know, Salah is gone, so that's scapegoat off the table. You know, for many people, it's scapegoated this whole season. We're looking at a very dark future. My issue is the manager has used this whole quick, pacey wingers as an excuse all season. So has all the media outlets. And someone said it yesterday in the chat when I was doing my solo Liverpool stream. The problem is it's almost like they're all forcing us to believe in something we all don't agree in. Like, you're forcing me to believe that if we got quicker wingers, we would be better. But today, Brentford player in the 150th minute at the end, if he could head the ball properly, we lose that game 2-1 like this. It's right out of goal without any care in the world. The goal that Brentford scored, what does that have to do with quick wingers? Emi Martinez played 1 goal kick in Aston Villa or through on goal. What does that have to do with quick wingers? We have conceded all comps, I think 74, 75 goals.
77.
Yeah, 77. Premier League, we've conceded 53 goals. 53 goals conceded in the Premier League. The excuses have run out for this guy. And for me, this is my prediction. I want to get you guys' thoughts. Like I said, open floor, please. So whenever you want to speak. I look at next season, and I think they're going to Rodgers this up. I think they're going to keep Arne Slot, and then 8 games into the season, they'll sack him anyway. And then we've wasted everyone's time for no reason because we've just sat there and wasted another season. So we're forced to, with a new manager, pretend that getting top 4 and winning an FA Cup is like a successful season or something. That's my issue. I feel like we're just going to waste another season because Yan Diomande coming into this team and Barcola coming into this team does not stop us from conceding silly, dumbass goals. It does not stop us from losing control in midfield. It does not stop us from losing so many battles on the football pitch. And most importantly, we're using our future players wrong. Who was Liverpool's future before a ball was kicked this season? If I asked all of you who were looked at as Liverpool's future, you'd say Isak and Wirtz. Wirtz is being played as the runner in behind, and Alexander Isak is getting 7 touches per game.
I think that right now, confidently, I don't think Liverpool win a major trophy in the next 36 months. I think that we're looking at that at minimum because what you have is Arne Slot is the smallest of the 3 problems. Like, what Arne Slot has done tactically this season is nothing short of a miracle. Like, the fact that you could be the worst coach on the planet, like, genuinely anyone on here could be a better coach than him, and to still finish in a Champions League spot is the most impressive thing I've ever seen. The fact that he was able to get Champions League football like this is insane. And all the credit to the players, but at the end of the day, he is the manager. But you have to look at the fact that it's a 3-pronged problem. It's Edwards and Hughes are the real issue. FSG, they're supposed to be hands off. Like, that was the whole point of hiring Michael Edwards, is so that they could take a step back and they could say, someone else is running this for me. The problem is that you've entrusted it to someone who is completely indecisive and full of nepotism, because Richard Hughes was nepotism. Arne Slot is nepotism. It's a packaged deal. The problem now is that everything that you're doing is investing into the wrong thing. And not to mention the fact that I actually believe that Diamande and Barcola make us worse. I think that buying wingers right now is the polar wrong thing to do. I think that it is catastrophically terrible to waste money on attackers. You have a very clear problem. You have no midfield. All three of your midfielders are benched in every other world-leading team. None of them get a spot on PSG. None of them get a spot on Arsenal. None of them get a spot on City. None of them get a spot on Barcelona. None of them get a spot on Real Madrid. They're all second. They're all second. Even Szoboszlai, because Szoboszlai can't do anything in tight spaces. Szoboszlai is a pace and power merchant. He's a stamina merchant. We don't have a midfield. We don't have a midfield structure. I think structure makes the midfield a little bit better, but I can't sit here and say that even last season, any of those players are being put into those sides. I just can't, not from an individual technical ability. To me, you have to invest in the center of the pitch. You have to invest in the three midfield positions and no destroyer. Get this idea of a destroyer out of your head. That doesn't exist anymore. No one on planet Earth who wins a major trophy plays with a destroyer. They are athletic and they are technically gifted. That is your profile. Go out there and find me three of those. McAllister needs a walker. Ryan Gravenberch doesn't know where he plays. And Szoboszlai is a headless chicken. So you need to find three new midfielders. Wingers are inconsequential right now. Change the system. I've always said when Mohamed Salah leaves, I don't want my wingers being my outlet. Evolve past it. Move forward. It's time to play a different system. It's time to play a different way because you're never going to get that output. You're not. I mean, just look at the other wingers in this league. Mohamed Salah in his worst season possible is still better than all of them GA wise in the Premier League. So I don't want to hear anything about replacing him. And I don't want to hear anything about replacing the left-hand side. But the issue is that it's a package deal. You get all three of them.
Here's the problem with that, Mike. I have a slight issue.
Yeah.
Isak is injury prone, and Ekitike won't be back to full fitness until.
But again,
Mike, we haven't got a single right winger in our team.
Exactly.
But hold on. But again, that leads into the first problem: the fact that it's a package deal. The three of them making all of these decisions together. I did not see a need to get Ekitike and Isak at the same time. At the same time, I wasn't going to complain. And listen. Isak had the injury and then he had a contact injury. If a player gets a contact injury, there's only so much I can do. Like when a guy falls on top of him and breaks his leg, there's only so much I can do. If that one play doesn't happen, do I think Isak has the same injury spell? Maybe not. Maybe not. But a dude literally crashed his full body weight on his leg and broke it. To me, again, you can, like, from the club perspective, what I know for a fact what they're saying is that before Aston Villa and before the second half of the season and all of these other, wide margin games, when we go back to the 3 out of 12, almost all of those were fine margins, like a last minute goal that turned a win into a draw, i.e. Leeds or Fulham, or a last minute goal that turned a draw into a loss, like United or Crystal Palace or Brentford, right? Because of that, the club thinks that it's a small margin that they need to change, because what the data says is that at the most pivotal point of the season, you guys were losing by a razor's edge. All we have to do is make marginal decisions. And then that sort of data-driven mentality is because of Edwards and Hughes. So again, it's a three-prong problem. I don't think that you can solve it with just fixing one of the prongs. If we were to bring in a new manager, I think that the first 3 months of next season are about trying to unfuck what Arne Slot fucked up. So, again, even if we had Xabi Alonso, my honest expectations are finish in fourth and compete for the FA Cup. That's it. That is what I would tell you.
I think you're exaggerating, Mike.
Yeah,
I'm not exaggerating.
This is no. I'll tell you why you're exaggerating, because as bad as we've been this season, we're really bad, and we still got Champions League football. If we get a better manager,
that's not because of us, bro. That's because of the league.
If we had a good manager, we would have won the league. We literally won the league.
I don't think so.
Same exact squad. I'm not accepting that these players are trash. I'm not
saying that these players
won the league with this squad. We wouldn't have won the league.
Emeka, there was a point in time this season, had we just beaten the relegation teams, we would literally have been top of the league. Like, let's 100. Stop this notion.
That's a fact.
Like, we drew to Spurs, Igor Tudor at home, bro.
There's a reason for that. The reason for that, right? And the players are
the manager. Yeah, the manager.
The manager.
Allah didn't play that game.
I don't think you understand how much.
We just had a conversation where we said our midfield can't pass, Our midfield can't play in small spaces. Our midfield gets run over.
But then,
So
can I
how would that midfield win the league?
Emeka, can I ask you a question?
Okay,
then?
so why do you play the midfielder that can't pass further forward and the midfielder that can't defend further back?
But it's not
Put
even.
the
No,
guy
no,
that
guys,
pass further
guys.
forward and the guy that can defend.
No, but guys,
like we did last season.
You're
we were
missing
all
the
praising
point.
Slot last season for doing the Gravenberg DM thing. He's moved Gravenberg into the 8 and McAllister to the 6 for no reason.
You talk about playing out from the back, or we can't play out from the back and everything like that. You do realize the structure that we do in terms of playing out the back doesn't help anyone. I don't think any footballer in world football can do it. Why are we asking our centre backs to play like Xavi and Iniesta, playing balls straight through the entire
and Ram.
They're doing long ball for Rio.
On your point. Well, this is what I literally just said, and this is why I disagreed with Mike. If you don't bring Barcola or he still doesn't think it changes. This is my problem with Slot's system. You have to bring the elite of the elite to make this work, and you can't. You can't. It's not realistic to buy elites of elites, because you're not gonna get the Olises, you're not gonna get the Barcolas, you're not gonna get. Listen, I was so glad when we didn't get Zubamendi and Gehi. Do you know why? Because Zubamendi and Gehi would have covered up the cracks that Arnie Slot actually really had. We haven't got them now, and we've seen what the system is for what it is. Literally. This is why I say it's actually, if we still stick to this system, right? Cool. We get Adam Wharton in midfield. I will say put Gravenberch in the 8, because Gravenberch actually in the 8 is better than what McAllister can do in the 8, right? And then put Adam Wharton that can actually pass. It will cover up a lot of things that we were struggling with this season.
No, it won't. No, it won't.
Yeah?
It will make us worse.
Let me just say something. Mike is talking about athletic midfielders and all this, right? Mike is 100% correct. Here's the problem. ITK Hussam, clip this chat. Our first signing of the summer is going to be Adam Wharton. Go ahead, 100%. Mike.
Hold on. Listen.
Adam Wharton is so
hold on. I just want to rewind a second because Hussam, you said I was being dramatic. I think you're just misunderstanding what I'm saying, right? With a different manager, I called our structure V-ball, right? A specific word that begins with V. I called it that ball, right? We built up in a 3-1-0-0-0-6. It literally looked like 2 semicolons, right? You know, the exact same spitting image of one. I understand that with that we would become better, but the problem is that if we invest into the wrong styles of players in order to meet a system that we know is inherently flawed, because again, I will stand here and I will put my life on it. If you had taken PSG and you just swapped the managers, we would have beaten PSG 25-0. We would have absolutely destroyed them.
But then, Mike, you're agreeing with us.
You agree with what we're saying.
No, yes, you're agreeing with what we're saying. But okay, I think where we lost the translation was when I said what the expectations were for next season, regardless of whether or not we switch the manager, because of the fact that you have to unscrew everything that Arnie Slot has screwed up. All the instincts of our players have been taken away. The only one who showed any instinct all season was Curtis Jones, and he was not benched because he spoke out of line. He was benched because he doesn't listen to what Slot says. Soboslai was put into right back, not because he's his favorite player, but because Soboslai is the only one who was going to do exactly what Arne Slot asked him to do. These are the things that you have to get out of these players' brains, and that's going to take time. We have a shortened preseason. There's a World Cup. There's going to be distraction. Then you come into the season at the middle of July. Already, things are going to be fucked up. Then you got to deal with a very competent Arsenal. You have to deal with a reinvigorated Manchester City. You have to deal with the one game a week Chelsea, and you have to unscrew everything that was screwed up, right? And then we can start playing football. You got to look at like 3 months, because we're going to have to go completely the opposite direction. We play risk averse. We're going to have to play with risk, because that's the only way that we're going to be able to control games. So the only point that I'm trying to make is that no matter what, we've put ourselves in a position where we now have to climb another mountain. It's not just get the Premier League. Now I have to completely reverse everything that these players have been taught for 2 years, and then I have to go on and I have to win the league. That's a lot to ask for a team to do in 12 months. And so all I'm saying is that even with the new manager, my expectations for next season are mediocrity, and anything above it is going to be supplemental. It's going to be extra. It's going to be the icing on top of the cake. And when I say mediocrity, I mean this season, finishing in a Champions League spot and having only that to show.
But I think we can finish in the Champions League spot next season, even with Slot in charge. That's not an achievement.
I don't know about that. I don't. Again, Ram just told you last season, the same amount of points would have been 9th place. We didn't even pick up. I remember sitting here on your show in January and saying that we were picking up points. I think it was in 45% of games. And if we wanted to get top 5, I thought we needed to increase that to like 70. We didn't even increase it. We just kept it at the fucking same percentage, and we made top 5. We have Europe being
That's
the
my
same
point.
exact form as January. I think that this was more of an off year than it was us being able to sustain this. Like again, realistically speaking, I can look at like 12 points and I could say, you know what, we might have been able to pick up 12 points on these fine margins, which sure, 72 points gets you top 4, not even top 5. That would get you top 4, but. Go
Mike,
on,
I was going to say, statistically, if you look at it just this season in terms of points total for top 5, whatever, this season has been an anomaly. It's been one of the lowest we've seen in quite a while. So
the
you
winner
can
was 82.
You can argue that. The one thing I would say, which I would agree upon, is I with this manager in charge, I can't see us getting top 4. In my opinion, top 5 may be a possibility, even with the players that we've got. Why? I don't think the players really believe in the system or what the manager's saying. Like us, if you just look at the body language of some of these players, they really couldn't give a damn. Like I saw a photo of Virgil sitting on his own, just pondering life. That was a damning thing. Yeah. The fact that my man sitting there, apparently was sitting there for a good 20 minutes there on his own in the middle of Anfield, on it, just literally just staring into space.
It's an emotional day.
But maybe, bro, think about it. It's also not only is an emotional day. If you look at both your 2 of your best mates and 2 of the people that you've been around for almost 8 to 9 years, growing up, winning trophies, being successful, they've gone, and all you've got left is most likely going to be Alisson. From the looks of things, we can't even confirm that because he may be leaving this summer. It's just the sort of realization that.
Yeah, but my thing is, Ram, for me, I think we're at a crossroads. I think if we take the right path, we will be back to challenging / winning next season. Like that's my thing. I don't think it's as bad as Mike is saying. Okay. And maybe I am being like too positive or too optimistic, but I think we can, with a proper manager, win the league this season. I refuse to believe team of the season players cannot be this bad, you guys.
No, but Hussam, Mike is saying that. Mike is saying with a new manager, potentially with a new style that people can get on board with, then it's a possibility. But the one thing that is we can go off right now, the fact that the manager's still
Mike
here.
Is saying something else. Mike is saying it's gonna take like 2 years.
I'm right here.
No, he is, because he's saying it's gonna take so much to unmess up what Slot's done. I don't think it works this way. I think right now the players are mentally done. They're not playing for the manager to begin with. I think they're doing roles on the pitch that they don't believe in, aka McAllister and Gravenberg as an example, asking Salah and Gakpo to dribble past 7 players, asking Isak to drop deep to link up play, asking Konate to be fucking Baresi out from the back, like he's just asking him to do stuff he's not good at. Frimpong just spamming the same move on repeat. Kirkaz and Robertson, the less said about them, the better. Like the whole squad is being asked to do shit. They're like, why are you asking Kirkaz and Robertson to underlap? You're actually dumb. You're actually dumb. Right. We went away to Old Trafford and he made Wirtz the runner in behind. In Wirtz's whole career, I've never seen him be the runner in behind. Now, I'm saying if I get a new... I'm going to use Iraola as an example. Pops don't believe in Iraola. I believe in him. I've liked Iraola from the beginning. They were asking, would you take Iraola? I said yes. The guy lost 2 centre-backs, Kirkaz, 4 of his back 5, even Kepa, and he's like 5 points behind us, bro. Like 4 points behind us with a significant... With let me tell you something, Evan Nilsson is Nunes, like literally, like Nunes 2.0. The guy's unbelievable, Iraola. I think he's a very good coach. If I bring the correct coach in who plays attacking football, because by the way, the Salah post on Instagram, which the players liked, I promise you the players want to play attacking football. once again today, Slot so oblivious to reality. Slot, like every time he speaks, my stomach starts to hurt. Like I start to get physically sick. Like I get diarrhea from listening to him speak. But like I get the shits because he irritates me. He irritates me so he's so annoying to listen to. The guy is sat there talking about, yeah, but because the result didn't go our way, they won't talk about the chance. Habibi, Brentford had the header in front of goal in the fucking last kick of the game, bro. Why are you lying to our face, bro?
Hold on.
It's so mad. So I think Landis, correct manager, fixes all these basic bitch issues that we've all agreed on this season, even with McAllister, Granberg, whatever it is. Shit changes. I'll tell you why it's not about transfers. We're linked to Adam Morton. You want an athletic DM? He ain't. He's not athletic. And he's not a DM to begin with. He's a passer. He's literally categorically. If you bring Adam Morton into the team, you need to know what is Adam Morton? A passer. His best attribute is passing, dictating tempo. He's not good defensively, and he's not good going forward. Adam Morton is, you know what Adam Morton is elite at? The second part of the pitch, not the first part, not the last part. The second part, that middle part, his game, long balls, passes, you know, line breaking passes.
The middle third of the pitch.
Yeah, very good.
Yes,
very good.
yes, yeah. Middle of the park. Middle of the park. But hold on, Hussam, I don't think you understood what I was saying. And just to be very brief, so I can let other people talk.
Yes,
I said 36 months because I am in 110% confidence in saying that Arne Slot will be here in 2027. We will not sack him. He will not be sacked. He's not going this summer. He's going to be here in the first part of next season. We are going to slowly chug along, and we're going to be hanging around at 5th place. We're going to be, again, our absolute worst. When we got 3 and 12, where were we? Within 4 points of 5th place. What does that tell you? There's half a season left. I can make up the 4 points. Why? Because the baseline right now for FSG is I need that Champions League money, baby. I get all this other money from all these other places. I just need to make sure I get that check from UEFA every single year. So that's why I'm saying it's going to be that long. And again, another reason is because if you keep Slot and you invest, then you have to invest in what he wants. You can't just buy players and be like, hey, buddy, here you go, big guy. I just bought you another Isak. No, they're going to have to buy what he thinks is going to fix it. But unfortunately, he's a fucking moron. He's an idiot. He's blind. He doesn't have vision. He doesn't possess brain cells. So he's going to invest into the wrong areas of the pitch. That's my problem. That's why I think we're so doomed.
I think where me and Mike kind of we separate away, because everything that he said over there is this is what I've been saying for the longest. If you want this guy to stay, you have to buy him the players that he wants. Do you think I want Adam Morton? No. But I know they're going to get him because that's what he wants. He tried to get Zubamendi. That's the same kind of profile, passes of the ball. So I'm in this now mindset of, right, these lot are not going to sack him. How do you even make the slightest best of the situation, even if you think that it's never going to be the best? It's going to have to be, you're going to have to buy wingers like Barcola. You're going to have to buy wingers like Olise. You're going to have to buy Diamant. Do you get
like
what I'm saying?
Mente.
Exactly. You're going to have to buy Adam Morton. You're going to have to buy...
I can't believe you said that.
But I won't be surprised if they try
to him.
Exactly. I won't be surprised.
No, we won't get him.
You have to go and get these players to fit his style, even though his style is absolute trash and not conducive to the Premier League.
And I'll say this as well. If they do something like that, that is gross management. That is poor management of a football
It's negligence.
Club.
It's negligence.
No, because it won't be classed.
Didn't we all agree, though, towards the end of the Klopp era, that was his downfall was him getting too much power and showing loyalty towards players? You know, Minte is not Dutch, but he was managed by Slotted Feyenoord. Tomato.
I mean, listen, you know what? Never mind. Best left unsaid.
No, but it's like this is why I say it's poor management, because when you run a football club, especially in the modern era, you buy players for the club, not for the manager. Why? Because you're not only looking at the present, you're also looking at the future beyond the manager, where the next manager could come in and be like, you know what? I see what's going on. I could do my little thing here as well. You can't buy players for a specific manager because, let's be honest, every manager has a specific way of playing football. They don't play carbon copy football. No one plays the same type of football that Klopp does. No one plays the same type of football that Pep Guardiola does. People will probably say Luis Enrique, but even then I'll say there's a slight difference between those two. It's just poor management when you say, okay, the manager, tell me what you want. Do you want Diamande? Do you want Barcola? Do you want all these players? It just doesn't make any sense. It don't make any sense at all.
But Ram, this is what I'm saying. This is why I said in my opening monologue, I'm generally confused. In the summer, when they bought the players, and whether you agree they should have bought Ekitike and Isak, besides the point, I can see from the transfers where the club wanted to go, or I had an idea where the club wanted to go. The football that was being played, and this is why I said I wanted Slot sacked by October, it did not make any sense to me from the players that you have to the way that you're playing. Cool. Now you want to double down with Slot and get players for him. This is where it genuinely confused. Like, can somebody give me an answer? What Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes are actually thinking? Are you going for the club? Or are you going for this manager? What is it?
That's my
By
point.
the way, did we do the same thing with Klopp? Or is that one of the reasons why some of these
Fair
players
to Emeka has been calling this out for a while, the higher ups now, because Slot's not going to sack himself.
Exactly. We've all been doing it, Sam. Ever since the turn of the year, we've all been looking at the management sideways for the past 4 or 5 months. Like, what have they been doing? Have they not been seeing what's going on? It's ridiculous. It's horrible. I don't know if and the fact that Richard Hughes was watching the football and it was horrible from start to finish. We didn't create any single clear-cut chances. Every counter-attack that we had, we somehow mess it up. Every sort of attack, every sort of defensive transition that we had to deal with, we looked so horrible. If it weren't for Alisson Becker cleaning up our mess, or Robbo cleaning up our mess, it would have been 3 or 4. But yet the board and the higher ups are saying, you know what, things could get better. They buy in the bullshit about injuries, mitigating circumstances. The football in the Premier League isn't what it used to be, or it's gone to a different sort of style of play that I didn't really expect. The things that he's been saying, I'm like, do you guys even listen to what he's saying? And do you actually believe in this bullshit? Like, seriously.
Also, when you say the football in the Premier League isn't what it's supposed to be, forget the Premier League. I'm going to look at the PSG game. Last season, we took PSG to penalties. This season, we lost to them 4-0 on aggregate. That has nothing to do with Premier League football. That has nothing to do with long throw-ins and set pieces. So what's your excuse then?
Again, I agree with most. I agree with most of what everyone's saying. I think the big part where I disagree with most people on the panel is I don't believe that this team's built to win the Premier League as currently constructed. I think if another coach came in, we definitely would have had better results. I definitely think we could have swung certain games in our direction, in our favor. But I think there's clear gaps in quality in the squad that have to be filled now.
So
and I think
you don't believe that the players are as good as other people think they are.
No. And I've been consistent on that. Like, and I can go through those players. Who Sam knows who those players are that I don't rate to that level. But I just think people forget like some of the complaints we had even in our title winning season, right? Like, because Sobo's running around a lot this season, he's got a couple really good goals in big games. We forget about the deficiencies we were calling out in the season before, which are still there now, right? The passing, the like being press resistant. I feel like when you're playing at the top level, like those deficiencies get exposed. And when we play in a lot of these big games, like in the PSG game, for example, you see those deficiencies in Zobo, where it's harder for him to show that quality in that setting where there's actual footballers in that midfield that are playing with him. And I just think there's other positions as well that just haven't been upgraded adequately. Like, we went from Trent to Frimpong. We went from Robbo to Kirkes. We went from Diaz to Gakpo, right? Like, you can almost go position for position, and most of our signings haven't worked. They've been misses. And the only place I disagree with you is I do think
I can debunk your argument with these, by the way, Emeka.
Yeah, I was gonna say that there's some positions where I'm like
Robertson last season wasn't good.
Wasn't good.
Robertson in the league-winning campaign wasn't good.
I'm speaking
Trent
to
was exposed defensively many times. Konate and Van Dijk are still Konate and Van Dijk. Gravenberch and McAllister are still Gravenberch and McAllister.
No, but Trent's always
should be on paper better 10 than Szoboszlai. Diaz and Gakpo wasn't much difference last season. They both had the same output almost. Isak and Ekitike are definite upgrades on Nunes.
Light years away from Nunes.
They're not playing. They're not playing.
Emeka, this is what we're saying.
That's the point, though. Yeah, that's the point.
Here's the problem. When they did play, they're still crap. That's the problem.
No, but listen, that's why we were crap. Again, the manager is a function of that. But again, you mentioned that from Trent to Frimpong is not a major downgrade. That is a major downgrade.
No, that's the only position I will agree with you on.
Major downgrade.
That's the position I'll consider.
What has Kirk shown you that is way better than what Robbo was doing?
No, this is where I disagree with you. This is where I disagree.
Emeka,
It doesn't need to be way better though.
Robbo last season was
Robertson last season. Not prime Robertson. There was more poor games than you could put good games for Robertson.
And also,
Robertson in the title-winning season had 1 assist and 0 goals and had 0 impact.
Wasn't good.
What is Slot telling Kirkes to do?
Even when we played Arsenal away at the Emirates, Saka cooked him. He got cooked week in, week out.
Yes, last season. Last season. Yes, when you clarified to
okay. So compared to Kirkes this year, that ain't that much of a drop off.
Yeah, but also Kirkes hasn't been levels above that.
No, but Emeka, again, this is what Sam is saying. This is what, especially when I saw it this game, right? I saw Kirkes like about 40, 50 yards away from the goal. A lot of green room to run into, just to run into and put the ball into the box. The guy just stood there, looked up, and decided to put a ball in from 40, 50 yards out. I'm like, brother, you got green space to run into. Just overlap. Do what you do best. The perfect example, Kirkes against Tottenham in 24-25. The guy ran about 40 yards up, crossed it in, back post, and I think it was either Marcus Tavernier or Justin Kluivert that got onto the end of it. That is Kirkes to a T, and we haven't been using him like that. Every time I see him on that left-hand 10, where I'm like, brother, you're an overlapping fullback. Why are you playing as a 10, bro? Why are you
I think you guys are going a little bit... My bad, Sam.
I'll quickly go and then you can go. But remember, Rami Hussam, remember when I said in the beginning of the season, I had a list of all the idiotic things that Slot has done. Aligning with our new signing. So this is what I said. Gravenberch is supposed to be a DM that stays back. What has he told Gravenberch to do?
Score more.
Go up.
Score more, remember?
Frimpong and Kirkes, what are their best attributes? Why is he telling him to underlap? Wirtz, what's he best at? Why is he playing left wing, right wing, and false 9? Why is Van Dijk and Konate being left on an island where Konate has to do everything to defend? These are the simple things that he, especially with a new signings, he has done where you're scratching your head thinking, is he purposely trying to sabotage? Or is he trying to force something that can never work?
I'm gonna do something that I don't like to do on panel shows, but just quickly, yeah. I'm gonna do a Mike Das. I'm gonna share the tactics board. I'm gonna bring up 4 players that have been lambasted by everyone in this fan base. Everyone, okay? So I'm gonna bring up someone that no one has defended all season. These 4 players, okay? Logically, one second. Logically, on the football pitch, you want Gakpo here and Kirkes here. Slot does this. Slot is putting... One second, guys, let me land, please. Slot is putting Kirkes closer to goal than Cody Gakpo. These 2 players right here, PFA team of the season double pivot. Instead of doing what he did last season, which is Gravenberch in this fucking area, he's done this now. This makes McAllister look like shit because all his strengths are in this area right here. This makes Gravenberch look like shit because all his strengths are in this area where he can just tackle and run with the ball a little bit. Cody Gakpo is a player literally 99% of the Liverpool fans don't rate. We all know that Cody Gakpo's strength is in this area of the football pitch.
He's an inside forward.
Yes, he's an inside forward. Like, you want Cody Gakpo occupying this position. Why is Cody Gakpo here and Kerkez here? Everything Ram just said about Kerkez is so true, which is why Kerkez, if you notice, just by his instinct, is usually doing this. Just by instinct. The problem is, Slot asks him to do this. So now I've got my left back closer to goal than my left inside forward.
And guess which
and
position,
that's how you end up looking like.
Sam, guess which position it covers when he's on that left 10 position? Our Cam.
Verts.
Yeah.
Let Mike go. Let Mike go because I know.
Listen, to me, I just feel like I'm hearing two polar opposite sides, right? And I think that there's validity in both. I think Emeka is a little bit polarized in his idea that too many of the players are too off of it, and I think that you guys are a little polarized in the idea that with just a different manager, we get consistent, sustained success. Again, the key word there is consistent and sustained. I think looking back to last season, there are so many what ifs that we can draw about our team. The whole 9-5, the fact that from January on we were putrid, the fact that we didn't win any games after we won the league, the fact that Arne Slot has never won a game for Liverpool in May. Fun fact for you, he has no wins in May. To me, I think it's somewhere in between. I think that some of these players are just basically handicapped with the manager. Kerkez being one of them, Frimpong being one of them. Again, when Frimpong was given license to go forward this season early on, go back to Arsenal. Go back to that whole stretch. He created 4 goals. 4 goals in 5 games. And then he was never put into those advanced positions. And he was put there in a disadvantaged situation. It was Frimpong 2v1, kick it past them. That was what he was left to do. He was left to kick it past 2 players and get to the byline, and yet he still did it. I don't think that he's better than Trent. Not saying that, but at the same time, I don't think it's S to D tier. I don't think it's some insane drop off. And ultimately, that covers the biggest. Okay, but again, it's inconsequential to me because the right back should not be creating anyway. The right back should not be my main outlet. My 3 in midfield should be. And what I live in between you two, right? I'm in the sense that we don't support our midfield ever. We often build up with just a solo midfielder and 2 center backs and 1 fullback. We build up in a 3-1, and then everyone else is just over at the final third. But there's no connecting. There's a line. There's no connecting piece between our build-up midfielder and the rest of the team. Every single one of our midfielders is forced to make a 40-yard pass, no matter what. There's never an easy pass. No one ever shows for the ball. Like, these are all tactics, and I think it puts everyone at a disadvantage. But at the same time, I also think that even if we did have the right manager, I can still see holes, right? Even with proper support, I see a lot of holes in Soboslai's ability in tight spaces. I like him from dead ball positions. I don't like it when he has to make a one-touch pass. I don't like it when he has to get technical. I like it when he can just cover a lot of ground. That I love Soboslai there. Gravenberch, I like it when he can make a turn, right? I don't like it when he's being pressed to death, right? It has to be a 1v1. He has to be able to turn and take space. It can't be, I have to be able to beat 2 guys. McAllister, I don't like his physicality. I do like his ability to make a pass, but there's never anyone to give him a pass. I think that the solution is somewhere in between. We need a better system, but we also need a different profile in 1 or 2 places. I think you need someone who's more technically capable than Soboslai and Gravenberch, but has the physicality of Soboslai and Gravenberch. You need them to complement each other. Right now, even in a perfect system, I don't know if our midfield complements each other in that kind of way.
Mike,
I think that we misuse everyone. I don't have the answer. Like, if I had the answer...
Okay, but here's the problem, Mike. I've listened to everything you're saying. My issue is I have a sample size of 11 players, 10 players, because you can't misuse a fucking goalkeeper. 10 players all being misused. So what makes me certain next season that with Barcola and Diomande and Wharton, he'll use them correctly?
You shouldn't be. But listen, guys.
So that's the point then.
I know that, but like, if you haven't accepted that Slot is going to be here, there's nothing that I can do.
I have not accepted it at all.
Yeah, there's nothing. There isn't any.
Dean is
there's
on
nothing
serious
that I can
opium
say
right now, bro.
There's nothing any of us can say. Like all we can do is just hope that there is pure mutiny and all these players decide to say, I'm not showing up. You know what? We're done. That's it. I'm not showing up to the player. Like that's it. That's all we can hope for. Right. And listen, there are other managers who could come in. Again, I think Luis Enrique coming into PSG and showing you what the difference in just one player can make. All of a sudden, you get rid of the biggest cancer in club football history, that is Kylian Mbappe, and you're the best team in the world for 2 straight seasons. Like, it's no coincidence. Yes, one manager could completely change this team overnight. But do I still think that, like, could we be the best consistently? I still think that there's pieces that we need to add. There's different players that we need to interchange.
The one thing I would say, I don't think the expectation for us is to go and win a title. I think it's more or less compete at the bare minimum. Compete at the bare minimum for me. And the reason why I say a manager could come in and get us to that level is because for me in management, the main priority that you have to have is getting the best out of your players. If we get a manager that can get the best out of these players, to seeing what they've done in their previous clubs and the potential that they've got, they could definitely be up there competing for the major trophies. That's where I'm like, if we get the right manager who most importantly thinks about what's best for the players and gets the right system, then yes, there is a possibility we can go and challenge for the major trophy.
And the other thing is, Ram, you want to know the problem with this season? The biggest issue for me with this season is the following. If we did an Aston Villa and we competed for a bit and then fell off, and half the team looks good but the other half doesn't, and we had moments and we had memorable stuff and we won an FA Cup and finished 3rd, everyone would go fair enough, this season wasn't our season, we tried it, but we need 1, 2, and 3. I promise you all, if all of you were on the same exact stream on August 24th instead of May 24th, and I said, guys, we will finish below Man United and below Aston Villa, you would all say sack everyone. Not a single one. And any of you that denies this is lying. Literally is lie. You're a liar. I'm telling you to all your face. And everyone in the chat, you're a liar if you deny this. No, if anyone acts because the same Emeka was on the channel in August telling us that we're going to win the league. So this notion that we have misprofiled this team. Habibi, I've just given you 4 examples of shit of 4 players that have been spoken about almost every game week. Imagine this season, all I did. Let me land. Imagine this season, all I did was make Kirkaz overlap, Frimpong overlap, make Salah and Gakpo inside forwards, play Gravenberch DM and McAllister in the 8. That's it. Imagine I just did that this season. No bullshit. I'm already 15 points better. Just by doing the most basic bitch shit. Just making everyone do shit that they're comfortable with. Just like that, I'm already 15 points better off. Because guess what? Gakpo's now cutting in normally instead of running into the bloody left back after he cuts in. The left back is now overlapping because that's what he's good at. Frimpong, I don't care what anyone says, they can call him ping pong and he can't play football and he's like this dumb player. At the beginning of the season, when he was playing next to Salah, the guy was overlapping and making runs and Mo was finding him, and what Mike said is true, he was creating chances. If I just put Florian Wirtz in the 10 position without him running into the left back and the right back and actually getting the license to create, and you know what proves my point about slot stupidity and how transfers won't change this? Bro, the first player we're going to sign is Adam Wharton. Adam Wharton is, I don't care what you say, yeah? This is reality. We have to accept. Adam Wharton is another version of McAllister. This is the reality. He's a bit quicker than McAllister, and that's it. He ain't even, by the way, I promise you all now, Wharton is not rapid. He is, you can run past him, So if we sign Wharton, Barcola, and Diomande, okay, so does that change the chances we concede? Does that change our defensive structure? Does that change any of this shit? No, because now my double pivot, instead of McAllister and Gravenberch, will be Wharton and Soboslai or Wharton and blah, blah, blah. And you want to know the biggest reason to sack Arne Slot? Florian Wirtz. Left wing, right wing, false nine, the runner in behind. Everything except play in the 10 and giving players to link up.
Don't forget striker.
I wish I could just open new tab right now and play the highlights of Liverpool Atletico Madrid from this season with Slot in charge. Bro, That game, Atletico had one big chance the whole game. They scored from a half volley that cannot be repeated. If I told Llorente to repeat that 100 times, he would fail 99 times. And we had 7 or 8 big chances in that game. We wiped the floor with Atletico Madrid, a team in the Champions League semi-final. We wiped the floor with them. We literally wiped the floor with them and destroyed them. And you know what Arne Slot proceeded to do? Never ran that lineup back.
Yeah, he never played that again.
Not once did he go with that. You know what he did the game after? I'll remind you exactly what he did the game after. The game after we played Everton, he made Gravenberg do the further forward thing, and he started Ekitike instead of Isak.
Sam, I agree.
And dropped Florian.
What you're saying there is exactly what I say all the time. Why he churned from the Atletico game when we had Frimpong overlapping Salah. I would never understand it. And it's true what you're saying, because you bring it. I've never been a fan of Iraola until about 3-4 weeks ago, and I started watching everything he does. And I just started, and I'm thinking, this guy can coach. Like, I don't think we need a lot of stuff. You give him a Kamara or something in the midfield, couple wingers, we'll be straight back up, because you got a man that can coach the players. Like, it's not going to take. These players are proper players. We've got decent players there, world-class players. Like, these guys, right system. You see what like you said. He lost all his back four. He lost his left back to us. He lost his best mid winger during the season. And what is he 5 points behind us this season?
Yeah, he got Europa with Bournemouth, who were one of the favorites for relegation.
And he just has a brain. He just has a brain.
This is Bournemouth's best ever finish in their whole history.
They got
best
Europe.
ever finish. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And the thing is,
Europa League, not even conference, Europa, bro.
Yeah, Europa, yeah.
And the thing is, with me, football, sometimes make it too complicated. It's so simple. You coach a player, you get a Kamara who likes to do that, to close spaces, getting second balls. Well, you don't like Kamara enough.
You make football too complicated, so I was just okay, go ahead.
We don't need to make it complicated.
I'm simplifying it. I think you guys are complicating it, honestly.
No, but you get the right players.
I want to ask you a question, Dean, because you said we have world-class players, right? I'd love to know who we're considering world-class.
No, when I say world-class players, I mean they bought world-class, supposedly world-class players. Yeah? And Wirtz and Isak, supposedly, they were here when they bought. I didn't know too much about Wirtz. I've seen him a couple of times. I didn't call him world-class.
Yeah, world-class player.
I know people tell me he's world-class, So
he's world-class.
Right, if you got a manager, the owners have given you 130 to spend on Wirtz, 100 and whatever it was to buy Isak. 2 of your main assets you've bought, have not worked out. This is money I've invested. This is money I've invested. Big money investments. I've broke the transfer fee twice.
Yeah.
2 players that have not lived up. What makes me think next season you can make them play how they're meant to play? What's going to make them play suddenly all of a sudden next week?
I agree with that. The only point is what Slot could counter what you said. If you're just using those 2 players as an example, he could technically say only Wirtz was available. Isak, regardless of Slot.
And
Isak,
what did you do with Wirtz? What did you do with Wirtz?
For us this year because he wasn't there. Wirtz also didn't perform. And again, I don't want to just give these players cop-outs, because I think when you're a certain standard as a player, you can also shine in less than ideal circumstances. And I think there's been games where Wirtz has been in the position he wants to be in, and he hasn't performed. He's looked shy. He's looked like he doesn't want to actually be that difference maker in the game.
His confidence.
I've played sports. I come at it from a different perspective, because it's like I've played sports my whole life, and the best teams I've been on, it's like, bro, there's always a factor of coaching, but the best players are going to be the best players regardless of who's coaching. You can see quality no matter what. And I think a lot of these players have shown me that there are gaps in their quality. Like a lot of these signings we got. Kirkes,
can I ask a quick question?
Etc. But even when he's been on that wide left position, when he's playing balls into the box, like, I haven't seen that quality. I just haven't.
The gap you're talking about. The gap you're talking about is confidence. Yeah. If you give these guys the ideal situation to play in, You give them runners off the ball. You make players available. Like 1-2s, you can do quick passing. It's a whole difference. But when you're getting the ball and you're looking up, no one's moving. No one's moving. Like, what do you want me to? What can Vert?
They all leave each other out to dry. They don't. None of them support each other.
They don't support
And
each
the
other.
problem with Emeka's argument is
Explain why Verts looks so good for Germany.
They still didn't look good on the football pitch. And even the signing that we agree is a good signing, like Ekitike, I will never forget there was a period in time where Emeka himself and many people in the chat were criticizing Ekitike. So let's not sit up here and act like they all had perfect seasons. They were fit and available, and they've all been misused. I've given you an example of 4 players that 3/4 of the fan base don't rate, and I used it. That's the thing. And by the way, people keep talking about the wing position. Say this quietly, but the striker position could be an even bigger problem for us next season that we are just unaware of, not realizing. Because guess what? Mo's gone, Chiesa's gone. That's 2 wingers off the board. Gakpo has biggest job security in the planet because he's the only senior winger left at the football club to begin with. So Rio Gomoa is the up-and-coming youth player. Now you need 2 wingers. Guess what? Ekitike, and everyone who watches sport knows about this injury, is gone till January. But because this injury is so bad, it'll take him till February
No.
be able to even like
he's done. Next year's done for him. Next year's done for Ekitike. If you know this injury,
whatever it is, February, March can even impact the game. Isak is injury prone anyway. So then my question becomes, God forbid, what happens? What we're gonna do when Isak's injured? Oh, it's gonna be
get Jaden Dan's fit
factors again. Here we go.
Can I ask the panel a question? Can I ask the panel a question quickly? What was Vert's best part of the season? Where did he play the best? Which part? Was it the
in the
beginning?
10?
Every international break.
In the middle.
Every international break.
Or when he's in Germany, when he plays for Germany.
So I'm talking about like September, November.
When he was holding the jersey, that was his best moment of the season.
I think Jan Feb. I think it was before he got.
So Emeka, I'm glad you said Jan Feb.
When Isak came back, he had a moment.
I'm going to tell you the timeline of Arnie Slot and what he tried to play. So we know that in the beginning, Arnie Slot tried to do these ISO wingers things where we know that Gakpo and Salah cannot do that. Cool. The pressure was mounting on him. And then what he ended up doing is pass it to Ekitike and Verts and pray. That was his tactics. Literally, that was his tactics. Pass it to Ekitike and Verts and pray. Guess when that was? That was end of December, January, February, when we were on that Fugazi unbeaten run. That's when Verts and Ekitike somewhat looked all right. The problem is that my problem with Slot is that, and I hate to say this, he can actually do this. He can turn this around. He chooses not to. The 2 games against Atletico Madrid and Frankfurt, he put the best lineups and the best tactics that this season he could play. Guess what he does the next game?
Reverts back
to type. Like this is what really gets crashed out on this guy. Second.
No, I said that part is true. You're right about that.
This is what gets me to crash out on him. He can make a system that makes all the players work together in junction with each other. He doesn't want to play that style. He doesn't. Yeah. He literally said after the game, "Well, it's not really the way I want to play, but it's good that we got the win, but it's not really the way I want to play." Are you an idiot?
Yeah.
And this guy's still in the job. Richard Hughes, Michael Edwards. Are you? Oh, do you know what?
But you shouldn't, like, people should not be angry at just one prong. Like, Michael Edwards is the biggest villain of this football club. Michael Edwards is the Antichrist. I called Arnie Slot the Antichrist all season. It's not. It's Michael Edwards. Michael Edwards is the 4 horsemen from hell. Like, that's what we have. You have to cut all 3 now. And the problem with cutting all 3 is that those are 3 big fucking jobs. And that means that you got to get all 3 right. Plus, you got to go out there and you got to buy all the right players. That's a whole lot of moving variables. That's a whole lot of moving parts. And that's a very complex issue to deal with. And the issue with this 3-headed beast is that they all like to sit at round tables and do things that I'm not going to say that'll get Hussam demonetized. So to me, it's like you have to look at Michael Edwards. You have to look at what this club is trying to build themselves on, which is this data-driven nonsense. Because the data would tell you, we were only marginally worse than most of these teams a lot of the times. And, they were just taking, they were picking apart certain areas of the pitch. Meanwhile, anyone with a brain from October could have told you that this is only going to get worse. Like, he's only proving that every week he's pulling Einstein's definition of insanity. Let me try the same thing again, and let me hope that I get a different result. And because it's sports, sometimes it happens, because it's a two-way street. The other team has to take advantage of your incompetence. And a lot of times this season, they just didn't. And then, honestly, like, if you want to go back to the beginning of last year, the beginning of the title-winning season, Ipswich is a great example. The first game of the season. What happens 20 minutes into that game? They almost scored 2 goals. And the only reason why they don't score those 2 goals is because they completely miss their chances. And then Kwanzaa gets subbed off. Konate comes on. We go up 1-0. And then it's steady coasting from there. But it was the same script over and over. It was a 2-0 win where the other team had chances before we scored, and maybe it would have gone different. This year, it went different. It was the same exact football, and the other team actually did score. And then you saw the consequence of the other team scoring before us. So I just think that you got to get rid of all 3, and that's an impossible job. And I'm just praying that Richard Hughes does the right thing and decides to go take the Saudi money, and that way this becomes less of an issue. Because if Richard Hughes walks, then I think Michael Edwards is less inclined to keep Arne Slot, because I think it's the real pairing is, it goes like Richard Hughes is super tight with Slot and he's super tight with Edwards. And it's not that Edwards is super tight with Slot. So as long as the connector is here, we have an issue. If the connector leaves, then Michael Edwards has to adjust and he'll say, you know what? I don't need this guy. I can go get somebody else. But even if you get someone else, like, now we're really talking about a transition year. And now we're saying everything else on top of it is expectation. Everything else.
Let me just say just to kind of go back as well to what we said earlier. As we were talking about what Samuel said, and the point Ram brought up about the whole Atletico thing, I just went back to look at this. Against Atletico, 2.72 xG, 7 big chances to us, 1 big chance to Atletico Madrid. That's it. The whole game, 7 big chances. That game is the game where Wirtz and Isak combined with each other, and we all got excited. That's the game where Frimpong started next to Salah, and he had a runner next to him. We had Gravenberch and Soboslai, which is something we've all said. It either works Gravenberch, Soboslai, or McAllister, Soboslai with Wirtz and the 10. Now, here is where the mental part of football is very important. The game after Merseyside derby at Anfield, he drops Wirtz, he drops Isak. He plays the traditional midfield 3, and he starts with Ekitike. Ekitike scores twice and we win. Great. But what does that do in terms of the team? And I'll give you the difference in performance. Against Everton, Liverpool had 1 big chance created. 0.9 XG. With Ekitike starting, without Wirtz starting. Now, from Wirtz's perspective, you're low on confidence. You played the 10 out of 10 game in the Champions League. You were great. You linked up with Isak. You linked up with Salah. He dropped you in the next game. Straight after, he just dropped you because he wants to keep McAllister happy, or because he wants to keep player X happy or player Y happy. And this is how you mentally start to lose belief in the manager, and you start to lose belief. And as example, the Palace game, we scored and it was 1-1. Leave Selhurst with a draw. Adi, leave Selhurst with a draw.
Don't forget about Wirtz missing an open
7
net.
forwards on the pitch. We had 1 center back on the pitch, and then we ended up conceding the last goal.
Sam, I'll do you one better. Look at the stats of the Frankfurt game, and then look at the next game against Brentford. Wirtz had 2 assists, in that Frankfurt game.
There you go. That for me is the main issue with this whole conversation. Is all these things link back to the same person? Who? Arne Slot. That's the problem for me. The way that he's used the new players, the way that he's used the old players, no one looks good right now. And that's why I will never be on the side of people who claim that we have this bad team that needs so much fixing. I'm not on that side. Respectfully, none of you rate Rice that highly. Odegaard, Saka, Gyökeres, Martinelli, Trossard, and they're all league champs.
That doesn't mean we're not allowed to want better players. Like, I
But
want.
we have better players and we're fucking fifth.
Okay,
that's
but
the problem.
Even with the better system, I can still see inconsistency. Like I can still see players who I think will be inconsistent. I think Ryan Gravenberch would be inconsistent. I think Soboslai would be inconsistent. I think that you can still sit there and say, yes, the most important problem is sacking the bald Dutch fraud, right? Get him out of the club.
Yes.
The second most important problem is, like, do we have the squad? Again, I'm under the pretense that you spent 500 million pounds. So that means that you want to win the double every season, ideally, right? Like that should be your expectation. I'm Champions League final, Premier League every year. Obviously, I'm like, that's not realistic, but that should be your expectation. Every year we start, we want the double because you spent that kind of money. I don't know if this is that kind of team. Like, even if everything was firing, I'm not confident that midfield is strong enough to dominate a PSG, to dominate a Barcelona, to dominate a Bayern Munich, to run football.
This is what I said before. This is what I said before to Hussam, and probably Ram and Hussam remembers that I said this. I said, if we're firing all cylinders, yeah, and there's still some growing pains and we still see some holes, this season we should have at least finished second or third, fourth at the least.
Should have been 15 points better.
100%. And this is what really annoys me, because this season shouldn't have been this bad. And it's all because Slot wanted to do the stupidity that he did. Now, I agree with what Emeka and Mike is saying in the sense of, does there need to be some upgrades? I feel like there needs to be an upgrade in the CDM position. I feel like there needs to be an upgrade in a left wing position. I feel like obviously Salah's gone now, but there needs to be an upgrade with the right wing position.
The right hand side period.
You need two.
You need two.
Any right wingers.
100%.
I don't disagree, guys. I don't disagree with this, but you guys keep saying upgrade on DM. We're gonna sign Adam Wharton.
No. I never said DM. I don't want DM. DMs don't exist.
DM? Who?
I don't want this idea of a DM. It's a complete fallacy.
Bring it back by Setic.
Here's what I'm trying to say. I agree we need upgrades. But at the beginning of the season, I saw this and I was like, all right, at worst, we finish third. Best, we win the league.
Yeah.
If we finish third, we look at the next season to see where we can improve. And this is my problem. How have I gone from thinking that to nearly coming out of Champions League spot? That's crazy to me. So, with everything, yeah, and the thing is, I keep on saying this, and I'm getting sick to my stomach that I'm saying this. We're gonna bring Adam Wharton because it suits his style. We're gonna bring people like Diamande, and I'm not saying they're bad players or Barcola, but we have to bring the elite of the elite for this system to work. And I hate this. It should be, all right, we can bring this guy for 20 million. He's going to fit here. We can bring this guy for 80 million. He's going to fit here. And then we work it out like that. It shouldn't be that we have to be 100 million here, 100 million here, 100 million here, 100 million. Come on now. This is crazy.
Anyway.
But we have
It's actually going to make us worse. It's going to make us worse in the long run.
We can't afford it.
I mean, it's not even that.
After all this, we all agree, but the club are going to sign Adam Wharton.
What for?
So
why are we signing Wharton? Why are we signing Wharton?
Dean. Don't shoot the
If we sign Adam Wharton, it is banter era. If Adam Wharton gets announced as a Liverpool player, we are back to pre-Klopp. I'm telling you that right now. If you add Adam Wharton to this team, it is pre-Klopp the next 4 years. Good luck. Good riddance. We ain't winning the Prem.
You're talking about Sangare from Forest. That is a shit version of Gravenberch.
No, not that Sangare.
No, it's the one from Lons.
From Lons.
Mamadou Sangare.
There's two. There's a Kamara and the Sangare. Yeah, I'll buy them both. I'll buy them both and put them in the team right now.
We'll buy them both.
Okay,
your dream will come true. McAllister will get sold. Gravenberch ain't getting sold. He's on 280 grand.
Fair enough. But I need someone that can use their brain and do defensive stuff. That will track back. I'll win the second ball.
Now everyone tell me the solution to the striker problem. Go on.
Jaden Dance is that's it.
Will Wright.
I mean,
Stop
you're
it.
kind of
Dean, why don't you get triggered when he? No, 1 second. Why don't you get triggered when he says
you're
that?
kind of
I like
Only me
that.
get triggered, huh?
You're kind
So
of
Pops can say Jaden
striker.
Dance and it's okay.
Yeah, Pops is cool.
Well done,
You're
Pops.
gonna have to play with a
Big up,
false
D, let-
9 when Isak's not in. You're gonna have to put Verts at false 9.
You're gonna
when
have to-
Isak isn't available.
Mike, Das, stop
No,
trigger.
no, we're not doing it.
Can
My
I give you
brother?
no-
Well, I mean, listen. You want me to trigger you, big guy? You want me to?
Isak
Cody
is made
Gakpo
from
is your second
biscuits,
striker. Congratulations.
And it's basically
Cody
out the
Gakpo is your
whole
number
season.
2.
It's Gakpo, bro.
All
What are we doing?
the
Cody
striker
Gakpo is your number
problem,
2.
It's
If your
Gakpo.
your number two.
solution is Gakpo up
It's-
top, I'm gonna end the stream.
Okay, well, it's not my solution.
Dan,
It's fact.
That's the
It's
Dan,
Isak.
We go with
It's
that. We go with
Isak
that.
and it's Gakpo. It's Isak and Gakpo. Rio and Gamoa is your new starting left winger. Yan Diomande is your new starting right winger. And what's supposed to be a Premier League competing front three is going to be for 80% of the season a 17-year-old, a Dutch piece of shit, and Yan Diomande, who's Premier League unproven. There you go. There you go. Because Isak can't he can't spend more than 2 weeks in a row playing football.
We're going.
He's made out of glass. He's made out of glass. He's made out of glass.
No, but
What
you
are we
manage
talking
his
about?
minutes. You manage his minutes.
Manage. Oh, you want me
He
to
has
manage
to be
minutes
ready
on a
this
130
preseason.
million pound player?
No.
You want me to drop
preseason. He has to be
to
ready.
manage
Ready.
minutes.
He has to
What
be
is
ready.
that ridiculousness?
No excuses.
If Isak cannot play week in week out, get him on the fucking first plane
Why
out
did
of
they buy
here.
him then?
Get him
Why
out.
did they
Take
buy
the
him? Why
loss.
did they
Eat
buy
the
him?
loss.
Isak has to be ready.
120.
He has to be ready.
They shouldn't have bought him then if he's not ready every. We've seen this season he can't play every game. We've seen it. It's not a lie.
No, but he wasn't
It's not
managed
this
properly. No, he
They
wasn't
get him
managed
out.
properly.
Yeah,
He
that's
wasn't
what I'm
managed
saying.
properly this
This
season.
is why you need a different manager. Like this manager's not trained. Whatever he's doing in training is that comes back injured straight away. Comes back injured straight away. It's the same thing every week.
The only grace I would give him is that Van der Ven tried to, and
That's the only grace.
Yeah, but since then he's come back and
before
picked
that,
up injuries.
He mismanaged Isak, in my opinion, because Isak didn't have a proper preseason. So rather than run him off the pitch, he was putting him on the pitch with McAllister to get fit. I was like, who gets fit playing games?
Playing matches. That's foolishness.
Ekitike was ready to go.
But
I'm
even then,
gonna ruin your mood again. So get ready
Oh.
for Dean to get triggered. Let's assume Isak is fit the whole of next season. Isak under Arne Slot is getting 7 touches of the football, guys.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
I'm
my
only
initial
trying to tell
problem.
you, that's what
Wait,
I'm saying.
This is my problem. Because
Yes.
the way he plays does
Now
not suit for what we bought for 150 million.
But this is
Hossam,
where,
Hossam,
this is where
one
Verts
second.
has,
No, 1 second.
but this is where
Let's make
Verts
this
has to
work.
turn it on now. So
I'm
Verts
gonna make
and
you
Isak.
all even more miserable. I'm here to make you miserable. So
You
Isak's
can't make
goals
me
this
miserable.
season. His last goal, Crystal Palace, was a McAllister scuff shot that landed at him, and he half volleyed left foot into the corner. What was his goal before that?
Now they go after that with Spurs, isn't it?
Tottenham. Okay, so that was the
Yeah.
only goal that we could see sustainable in the future.
Yeah, that's the one.
Isak and
That
his
was the
goal.
one.
Hold on.
Great.
Verts to him.
The other
Spurs, that
goals,
was
go
the
on.
one. I got
What
offended
is
at
the
that
point
one.
that you're trying to make?
My point is, with Arne Slot in the building, even if Isak is fit 38 games, 7 touches, he's doing nothing.
Okay, but like I think that's you're over with Arne Slot in the building. This could be a video game. You could inject £1 billion. You could buy all the best players in the world. We would still fucking suck. We would still finish on 70 points max. You could interject $5 billion. You can buy Kylian Mbappe. You can buy Lamine Yamal. Go out there. It's a fantasy draft. And guess what? You get every single pick. There's no one else in the league. You get to pick whoever the fuck you want. He would still fail. You could give him everything, dead or alive. You can give him Pele. You can give him Maradona. You can give him all of the best players in the history of the world. He will still find a way to fuck it up. So like the whole, whether or not Isak is fit, it's moot. Like it doesn't matter. Gakpo, again, what last game when Gakpo was playing striker, didn't he have like 8 touches? Like it doesn't matter who's been. It doesn't matter who's been in the 9. It literally it makes no difference. No matter how much money we spend, no matter what changes we do, it's not going to happen. We're like, if he's here, we're going to fucking suck. Teams like Bournemouth are going to work us. Teams like Brentford are going to work us. Teams like Leeds, teams like Sunderland, that's going to be scary. Sunderland qualified for Europe. I'm going to be scared playing Sunderland. Sunderland are going to beat the fuck out of us. Leeds are going to absolutely ravage us. The teams that are coming up, dude, we only got We had 3 draws against the newly promoted sides. I'm expecting next year 3 losses. We're not fucking beating a newly promoted team at Anfield. Anfield is the cauldron of cuckery. It's completely silent. It's a fucking library. We bend over to every team that comes over. It's 3 points for you, 3 points for you, 1 point for you. Like,
how has he messed up in 1 year? What club? Oh my word!
No, but you know what it is, yeah. This is why I don't think he stays, because all of this stuff you're saying now, this is going to be.
But I think logically, Dean.
No,
I think
no,
logically.
but come on, let's be real. The owners, we can cuss them as much as we want. They are good businessmen. That they don't just take a club from 400 million to make them an 8 billion worth £8 billion. They are going to make decisions. They are competent. We think because we're looking at our own timeline, they're not competent. They've got their own timeline.
Dean,
we just want to do things quick.
When we finished 1 point off of a century of points and won the league, what did we do to back the club? What was our investment? What was our investment?
I know. We wasn't self-sustainable.
An aging Thiago Alcantara, a dude who couldn't stay fit for more than fucking 6 games. That's what our reaction was.
We've moved on now. We're self-sustainable.
No. What we've done is we've become even more idiotic because money does not equal competence, right? Just because I spend a lot of cash doesn't mean that I'm smart. At the end of the day, they've always been the problem. It's always been the culture of the ownership. The fact that I look at Manchester City and I don't give a shit about their fans. I look at their owner and I say there's only one thing that matters to that motherfucker. He wants the biggest trophy cabinet in the country. And I like just that bare minimum. That's what I want. I want a guy who wants the biggest trophy cabinet. Our club, they don't want the biggest trophy cabinet. They want the biggest bank. Only 10 clubs on the planet operate in the green. 10 over all leagues. Do you know who economically is our nearest comparable? Norwich City, Burnley. These teams operate in profits. No one else does. So it's like, it all comes down to the fact that the ownership's culture is not conducive to the fan culture. We want to win the league every season because we're fans. They don't give a fuck. And guess what? Your ass is still, yeah, but spending money doesn't always mean that, because remember,
but that's what they said.
I love
that's what they said. They used those words. I didn't.
But here's the thing. People, I've tried to say this since last season, and people love coming at me and like, oh, don't talk like that. We didn't even spend 500 million. In fact, we actually had a pretty conservative summer. We didn't even spend as much as Manchester City did. When you break it down into profit and loss, right? Like, it's all about the green. It's all about what's the green and what's the red, not the total amount that you spend. Because to a club like that, if I spend 500 million, but I make 300 million back, idiots are going to say that I spent 500 million. Smart people will say I spent 200 million. We didn't spend 500 million.
Rivals are going to do that, innit? That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. So you have to look at what is the culture that that the back room want. And unfortunately, they have us in a vice grip because they've monopolized the season ticket holders, right? Season ticket holders can't sell their tickets. They have to go to a certain number of games, which means that they have to spend a certain amount of money in order to have the season tickets. You have all the international fans who don't give 2 shits. They just see the Liverpool logo and they're like, hey, big club, red jersey. I'm going to go there. Looks like fun. Hospitality seats, no problem. Here's $700 per person. Hey, it's all good. It's no big deal. I'm happy for you to rob me. And then the cycle continues over and over. I don't think Liverpool had a single empty seat all season, genuinely, except maybe the Carabao Cup, right? But who gives a shit about that? I don't think the profits have been hurt in any way, shape, or form. I bet you they sell out all those fucking jerseys this summer. Yeah, I bet you all of their merch is going to run dry. This
is why I'm saying they're good businessmen, because they've made us self-sustainable. Like that's their first goal, was to make us self-sustainable. Now we can go and spend money. Like before we couldn't do that, but now they're businessmen.
But what I'm trying to tell you, Dean, what I'm trying to tell you is that self-sustainable profitability is fucking bullshit. The only club on the planet that wins anything, that operates in the green, is Real Madrid, because they're backed by a nation state. That is it. Real Madrid is it. They are the only.
I know what you're saying, but right now all I can do is what I'm seeing right now. Since we've been told, we're gonna be self-sustainable, I've seen the club spend money now. I'm seeing them spend money. I know it's net spend, but we've broken the transfer record twice. That's what they've gone and done. It's not like they're not doing it. They are doing what they said they're going to do. Like
how much money did they really lose though? Because we got rid of players, we made money.
Sustainable. They're making it self-sustainable.
I get what Mike is saying. I guess you have to look, because it's only one summer we've done this. We have to look at the next summer to see if there's a consistent basis of, are they actually going to spend money? My problem is that the vision in all of this. When we bought Frimpong, Kirkes, Ekitike, and Isak, where did you all think we were going? What type of football did you all think we were playing? But just forget what Arnie Slot or any. Just with those signings, where did you all think we were going? And this is just a question to everyone.
Attacking wing backs, inside forwards, cutting inside, a striker finally scoring bags of goals. Salah to be the leading assister or second on the assist, second in goals. Frimpong and Kirk has to go madness on the outside, and Gakpo and Salah and Isak all to have a wonderful season.
And the striker becoming being involved with football, in the build-up there as well.
Point.
All right, so who are going to be the stars in the team? The guys that we're going to build around.
Well, the man you're spending money on. You bought a 10 and a 9.
You have to build around Verts and Isak. You've already spent the money.
There we go.
You're stuck.
And this is my. I'm gonna keep on saying this. I'm gonna keep on asking the panel, the comments. This. What? Okay, let me just word this properly. There's a clear vision that we saw in the beginning of the summer. Why have they doubled down with a manager that is going away from that vision?
I'll tell you what I'll argue. The three players that the two players that we had as our stars just now, they haven't played 200 minutes together for the season. I don't think it was. I think it was like 188 minutes or some nonsense that they said that they played together. So that's what he's gonna say. The unavailability of Isak, and then Verts got injured and Isak got injured. I'm telling you, that's what he's gonna say. I don't agree, but that's what he's gonna say, because even without one or the other, the idea should be the 9 is still the 9. So if you switch Isak for Ekitike, Verts should still be doing what he should be doing with Ekitike. Similarly, if you switch Ekitike out, put Isak back in, it should be the same thing. It should be seamless, but it isn't, and that's the problem.
I would love to sit down with Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes and just like pick their brains on what they actually thought.
You're going mad. I don't want to sit with none of them.
No, I know. I just
you don't want to put me in a room with them. You do not want to put me in a room with them.
We're too smart for that, bro, because they're gonna worm some rubbish. There's no excuses. Listen, everything. Our eyes don't lie. I can believe my eyes what I've seen. Yeah. So this is why I still think he's going, because they must see this. You don't get these jobs. These are the top jobs they got, you know. This ain't this, they just blagged the job. They've got the jobs. These are proper jobs they've got. You can't just get these jobs. So something has to be done. They can't just think, you know what, guess what? Next season, run it again. Like, he's my brethren. I've got him in. I liked him. That's the next manager of Bournemouth. I was going to let him have Bournemouth job. But you got to give the owners some serious answers. You can't
but then
say anything.
Then you're proving Mike and Emeka's point, and also the point that I said for me and Hussam and Ram were saying for years about FSG and this whole basis, like we were all right in the end.
That's that.
You don't want them, bro. I'm telling you.
Before I do,
I don't want FSG, but end of the day, they're businessmen. They're businessmen. That's what you got to understand.
They're lousy businessmen. Look at the
they're not.
Dean. I disagree with Dean. I really want to sit with Arnie Slot. I want to talk. I want to have a conversation.
No one.
I want to have a conversation, Dean.
I'll get too angry.
I want to do one of those brand risk boxing events. Me and Arnie Slot in the ring, gloves on. Like, let's just have some fun, dude. Let's just have some fun.
He's gonna make a joke
for charity. For charity.
I'd love to do that for charity as well. For charity, for free.
For charity. Gloves on for charity. Boxing match. Love to make it happen.
Yes. I just want to talk. That's it.
No
Anyway,
way.
let me just do these supers before we get out of here. Big up to all of you guys, man. What a show. I feel like the best part about Dean is he always starts off a show relaxed and then he gets more triggered the more the show goes on. This is
I
the
can't
best thing.
believe what I hear.
Can you
That's
blame
why.
him? Can you blame him though? Can you blame him though?
I can't believe
I
things
mean,
I
Just
hear.
listen. Everyone, just I want to remind you, be grateful. The season's over. Just like we got the World Cup coming around. You don't got to watch this team for 3 months. Guys, you don't have to watch this team until August.
I've just realized the season's over.
You don't have to think about Liverpool until August.
Dean
Like,
has
dude,
something to think about.
Not to
though.
mention, we're
Arsenal
not
might
gonna
win
have.
the UCL this Saturday.
That
There's
can't
going to be
happen.
1 month of no news
Can't
too.
happen.
There's going to be 1 month of no transfer news because everyone's going to be focused on the World Cup.
Mike, and then we're back to square one again.
Well,
Yes.
listen, I'm fully unplugged. I'm getting the fuck out of here.
What's worse, the birds or Tom's smoke alarm?
Tom's smoke
Tom's
alarm.
smoke alarm, definitely.
Oh, the birds. That's me. That's me. I've just realized I can hear them. It's me.
Imagine,
Tom's
birds are birds.
smoke alarm is worse because it just chirps unnecessarily. Like
Yeah,
Birds,
he's got-
birds in the
It's
background.
really not
actually
hard to
makes it-
change the batteries. I don't
Yeah,
understand.
Birds in the
Of
course
background
I do.
actually makes it nice and ambient, but that smoke alarm just goes beep, beep, beep. It just jars me so much. Speak to your boy, Hassam. Speak to your boy.
last game for the legend, he didn't even get the full match. Salah, I'll never forget you. We cannot have slot next season. Well, unfortunately, we will have slot next season, despite the dinopium, that he's been distributing across.
You see,
Egypt.
I don't mind it if the game was done and Salah got his goal and his assist. The fact that we're still chasing the game, he's been our best player, and he took him off. It's like, brother.
That's the saddest part. He was actually cooking low key today. Like, just keep
Yeah.
him on the pitch, bro. Like, the one game he's cooking, you sub him off. You're dumb. Like, you're actually just a
Yeah.
dumbass at this point. So, yeah. Big up to my guy Shawnee, who says, "Did you see that Hughes Salah hug at the end? It was full of hate. Notice there was no speech at the end." Someone put a Robertson quote in the chat. I don't know if it's true though.
I don't know. It's not true. I checked it. It was from Anfield Papers. It's not true.
Next time someone posts from Anfield Papers, we're gonna ban them.
But he did do some interviews, though. Robert did some interviews.
He was
And
mainly
he had mentioned it.
He was mainly bigging up what's it called, Pep Guardiola and Seamus Coleman, because they're leaving as well.
People aren't deeping. Like, I don't understand how it's not more. Like, how did people not burn down the stadium today when Salah has another year on his contract? He has 12 more months, and he's leaving, and
That's what I'm
everyone's
thinking.
just like everyone's just like, nah, it's chill. Like he must just want to be done with it. He's probably Mans is tired. Mans is tired. It's all good. He's got 12 months left. It don't matter. Just like how
But guys,
the fuck did
Ibu
no one
still hasn't
protest?
resigned either.
No,
Ibu
no, but
still hasn't resigned.
but that's what I'm thinking, right? Say if a new manager comes in, hypothetically, or some hypothetically, if a new manager
Mo
comes
could
in
come back.
and
Mo could come
he's
back.
like, not gonna lie, I want Mo Salah back in the team. Would he come back? Would he be
Could come
able
back.
He would
to
only
come
break
back?
the contract because he asked to break the contract. Slot out 1, 2, 3.
I
4.
think he would because he loves the club too much. I'll be honest.
No, but no, he hasn't. We haven't broken the contract yet. Have
Klopp
we?
would win the league with this midfield. Bro, Jurgen Klopp, I don't care what anyone says, was robbed of a league title by that cheating bastard Michael Oliver. People don't understand.
Yeah.
Arsenal went on a run. Yeah, they did. But guess what? When City came to Anfield, we were top of the league. If we beat them that day, we'd went 8 points ahead of them, and the momentum would be on our side, and we'd wipe the floor with everyone else.
Hassam, don't
Sam,
forget.
Why
Don't forget.
don't you show the
Marzo-
Raheem Sterling one? Remember the Raheem Sterling goal against City? From in his,
Yeah.
remember he was flagged offside incorrectly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't no, man, but
You
Hassam,
remember that one,
don't
right? That's the
don't
one.
forget. Don't forget Martin Odegaard, bro, acting like he's
Basketball.
Kyrie
Handball,
Irving
yeah.
basketball, bro. Like, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, nah.
What player
sorry,
have
no-
played to their expectations this year? Nobody. If that's the case, there's only one man that should take responsibility. So that's the thing for me that ends the Emeka part of the
Yeah.
debate, which is 25-man squad. If 12 of them played good and 13 didn't, no problem. But why is it one guy that's played good from August till now? Soboslai, that's it.
Yeah.
The rest you
Yeah,
can
but
have
like
a
he hasn't even
conversation.
been that good.
He
He's just
hasn't even been
messed
that
up a
good,
whole lot
I'm
of
not gonna
stuff.
lie.
There you go. Point proven.
Best of a
Great.
bad bunch.
Makes
Not
my
good.
point even
Let's not
better.
do that.
man.
Yeah,
Great.
there we
The
go.
last,
Like
the
guys,
last,
how
the
is
last
no
2
one
months
talking
has been
about how that's?
horrible.
But like if you're gonna sit here and say that Soboslai is your best midfielder, you're a joke. You're a
Then
joke.
Take away the free kicks.
You're a joke. Your age young.
No, it's true. It's true. It's true. True what Mike says, because you know what? So Bosley is doing the bare minimum you expect from a player.
Exactly.
Run your heart
Lungs.
out and
Lungs.
just affect it. You got to affect the game. He's not doing nothing crazy. He's just doing the basics you're meant to be as a footballer.
Honestly, my fear is we're slowly becoming United the last 12, 13 years, where we always say they hype up these players that aren't that great. It's always this manager's fault, that manager's fault, and
the difference
everyone
is
else,
these guys
all the rivals, hold on,
They
Hussein.
won the title though.
All of the rivals realize, like, yo, United, your players aren't as good as you think they are.
But
like,
these won the title. United haven't won a title.
Yes,
Come on,
yes.
man.
I agree with that, but we lost. The players that brought us that title are gone. They're not here.
Nunes.
Diaz was a major component of that. Trent was a major.
Oh my God, are
Trent
we really
was.
doing up Diaz?
Not Diaz.
Oh,
Though.
Diaz. I'm going to say this again, and I'm going to say this 1,000 times. Diaz and Gakpo. I'm sorry, Diaz and Gakpo are half and half of Sadio Mane.
They combined.
Literally,
They combined well.
If they combined together, you've got Sadio Mane. None of them had the ability or the directness or the actual mentality of Sadio Mane. Both of them together, 100%.
But that's gone now, Ram. That's gone.
Yeah, but
Darwin on a free.
though.
Give me Darwin on a free.
You sold one and you never replaced it.
As
much as we spent, we should have spent more, you know. As much as everyone laughs and said, "Oh, we spent a lot of money," I wanted more spending. Spend more. We didn't do enough. Spend more. Salah should have had a replacement. At least he should have never left England anyway, but there should have been a Salah replacement bought as soon as they extended. And Van Dijk, as soon as they extended, there's the replacement. There's the replacement. Forget how much money we spent. Spend more.
The board has to replace the players. Like, we didn't replace Diaz. All of us said it in the summer. We're like, yo, we didn't replace Diaz.
I didn't mind the sale. No problem. I had no issue with the sale. But no replacement made no sense to me.
Let's be honest. In the beginning, when people were saying we didn't replace Diaz, what was the narrative that people were running by? Oh, we got re-egged the war.
Narrative. I never ran with
because that's what we was told.
We knew that was a lie.
We felt
we knew that was a lie, but we knew that was
but Sam, do you know what what added to the narrative? Yeah, is the fact that the guy scored a last-minute win against Newcastle, bruv. The PR machine was on smoke.
That was one of the best pieces of football for the season. Watch the play. Watch that play again and realize. Look at the passage of play and say,
good football.
How come we can do that once?
Oh yeah, against 10 men, and we remember how to play football. For goodness sake.
Once.
If you saw the whole match.
We struggled against Spurs. We won 9, was it?
They almost beat us.
Fears. I understand your fears. The difference between us and United is the fact that just 12 months ago, not long ago, we were celebrating a Premier League. Yeah. So the difference with the United players is they would hype up Martial and Rashford and Pogba and Bruno and all these guys, and they didn't do anything. These players actually did something. That's why I think us hyping them is different.
Yes, and I agree. And I'm the best person to speak to this because, as you know, I predicted us to win the league last season. Most people did not in our fan base. I predicted us to win the league. So I feel like I'm best placed to say, and the reason I predicted it is because I said we have the players. Everyone was going on about Slot and he's a novice. And I'm like, yo, we have Allison, we have VVD, we have Trent, we have Salah. We have the better players. We have players that, as long as the manager is competent, we have the players to win the league, and we won the league. This season, I still predicted us to win the league, but I also predicted that Isak would be there, etc. I didn't predict that our manager would also make a lot of the mistakes he's made. So that is a part of it. But a big reason that we haven't performed this season is that the players that we've disrespected, whether it be Diaz, whether it be whoever you want to name, players that aren't there now, they had an impact on us winning that league. They had an impact on our style of play. We were able to play the football that won the league with those players. All 11 players matter when you're trying to win a league. It's never just one player.
Not 11.
Why was Diaz dropped from the left wing then?
I think the Diaz revisionism is insane.
It's crazy.
He was moved to the front though, right?
Diaz
He was
last season
when Diogo Jota got injured. The same time Diogo Jota got injured.
Like Diaz, Gakpo was a conversation. With all due respect, if Gakpo went to Bayern, he'd also get fucking 50 GA. Like, let's be honest, bro. Bayern Munich tear that league up, bro. It's like a BMW versus 19 bicycle.
Plus,
like, let's
plus
be honest.
if you look at the Bundesliga, if someone who watches it regularly, the level of defending compared to what it was a decade ago is night and day.
Way different. Yeah.
Night and day.
Bro, do you know what? It's so mad. Even Diaz said it. When I was in the Premier League, I wasn't even getting this space. I'm in the Bundesliga.
Exactly.
Oh my word! Look at this space I'm getting. Like,
And when he got that space, he looked
You
at
see his eyes
in the face and shot it to the corner flag.
Yeah,
So,
but
like,
you guys are focused.
the vision is insane. Like,
You're-
he holds the width. Okay,
No,
great. When he
Emeka,
did the
I
tight
agree
running
that
games,
he did
doesn't
play
know
a
what to
part.
pound.
But
Holding
the biggest
played
thing
a
for
part.
me is that you
I
have a
agree with
puzzle,
that, Ram.
and
He
you've got
played a
pieces of the
part.
puzzle.
Don't
When you
increase
remove
the
a
part
piece
he
of the
played, though.
puzzle, you have to put
No,
another
I'm not-
piece
I'm
in.
not increasing- Listen, I'm not increasing anyone's part. I'm
Who
saying
was Liverpool's best player last season? Emeka, I'm
It
gonna
was
let you
Salah.
answer.
It was Salah. It was
No one
Salah.
else answer. Emeka,
It
who
was
was second
Salah.
best player?
I would
Title
probably
winning.
go VVD. I'd go VVD.
Who was
I think
third best player?
It's Grab probably.
Third, yeah, Grav.
Gravenberch.
Fourth,
Allison.
I would say Trent.
Or Trent or Allison, I'd say.
McAllister.
Remember, Allison saved us
it's
quite a bit last
McAllister.
season
let
as
him
well.
answer. Let him answer. Who?
McAllister.
Okay, who was fifth best player?
Probably. I'd go Allison and then Trent. But you're actually not.
Diaz was the seventh most important player.
Yes, but listen. So let me just. No, but listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying, Hussam. We've bought the superstars now. You don't need superstars are who get you over the line, but you need the water carriers. Diaz was a water carrier. He did the pressing. Him and Jota did the pressing so that Salah could score the goals. Where Zobo was in the team, that's Wirtz now. Zobo was
You
there
don't know how
to.
to press anymore.
Emeka, I'm going to stop you there. This is the
We don't
problem we
have
have
the
with
press
Slot
now.
because this system, we can't have water carriers. We need elite players.
No, but listen to what I'm saying. We had water carriers everyone carried the water for Salah last year.
But then I have to ask you.
Play the system that
But then
he didn't want to play.
I have to ask you, Emeka, right?
Yes, but that's why I'm agreeing with you that the manager has changed the system and has made mistakes. That we can all agree on.
But then it
What
goes
it
back
is,
to
we have the profiles to play the style of play that most of the fan base say they want us to play. You're not going to play a pressing system with the front three of Gakpo, Isak, and Salah. 34-year-old Salah. You're not going to
I agree.
Those players aren't going to press from the front.
So don't ask the players to press.
And don't press it.
Don't
Play
Up a
possession
little bit.
football.
And
But then
take it from the
Emeka-
Don't
midfield.
ask
You
the
guys wanted
players.
both ways. You guys said everyone agreed with Salah's post. We want heavy metal football. You can't play heavy metal
No, but
football.
Emeka, no, this is very different. You don't need to play heavy metal football by just pressing.
need to.
You can play heavy metal football by
So why
playing
did you
quick
guys agree
tempo,
with this post?
vertical
Why did
style
you agree with
football.
Wait.
Why did you
Heavy
agree with
metal
the
is
post he made?
heavy metal is simplifying it. I think what Mo Salah was really saying was we don't take risks ever in any way, shape, or
High
form.
tempo, vertical football. That's what we don't do.
We don't take risks.
Transitional football. That's it. That's literally transitional football.
But in order
No
to have a
counters.
transition, you need to be attacked. That's why it's called the transition. The other team needs to have control in order for that to even come up. We don't want the other team to control any second of the game, which is why we play so slow, because we don't want to be risky. But that in turn is risky, but just towards us, because one mistake and then you're caught out. What Jurgen Klopp did, again, if you look back at when we had 99 points, it wasn't 4-3s. How many of those games did we win in the last minute? How many of those games were 1-0? 2-1, right?
1-0.
So to me, it's just that Slot doesn't want to take any risks. And that means that you're never going forward, which means that you're only risking defensively, because in order to have a risk attacking wise, the other team needs control. That's all.
Our best season that we had under Jurgen Klopp in 2018-19, people forget that was one of the best defensive performances we've seen in the Premier League era.
Balanced team I ever seen.
No, but the defense, the defense as well. I think there's only two teams in the history. Only two teams in the history of the
minded players.
18-19, by the way, was more like no, but here's the thing: 18-19 Liverpool Slot could have replicated the style this season, which is like controlled attacking football. He could have done this with these.
Only two teams in the history of the Premier League have conceded less goals than that team, and that was back in 1997-98 with Arsenal and Jose Mourinho.
We only conceded 23, innit?
21.
That's mad.
Yeah,
crazy.
And that wasn't like mad attacking, like mad pressing. Sorry, that was just controlled attacks.
It was the most balanced football I've seen in Liverpool for years.
You are meant to be getting a discount of Mr. Perfect.
Oh, did Hussam freeze for you guys?
Yo, Hussam.
Yeah, he's gone.
Hussam's frozen.
Yeah.
Heavy metal.
I don't even think the 18-19 season was lights out defense. I think it was just peak Van Dijk and whoever was in that
Joe
defense.
Matip next to him, Van Dijk was mad as well.
Crazy. It was peak Robo. It was peak Fabinho. Our midfield actually covered the back four.
The Red Arrows
like, again. But remember, the Red Arrows only exist because they're counters.
The good old days, man.
Again, I hope you guys are right and I'm wrong. I hope a new manager comes in, the exact same players stay, and we go and challenge for titles. I just don't believe it. I think we need
more players, Emeka. We need more players. For sure, we need more players.
We need more players.
We need more players, because if you guys are talking about returning to the level we were at, go through that 11.
No. See,
compare them
our
to
biggest
the
problem is that though.
We don't need to be that good.
If the standard
is look at the standard,
Mane, Bobby, and Mo, we're not going back to that.
We're also never going to get that. It would have to be a different style.
It would have to be a new manager. Okay, you know what? That's gone. And look,
that Liverpool team was an all-time team.
We ain't going. Yeah, we ain't going back to that.
An all-timer team. Yeah.
But never look for the Mo or the Mane. We can't do that anymore.
The play style with Klopp, right? He conceded that a lot of games are going to be basketball matches. But that's where Liverpool played the best, because when you get into a basketball match, we're just going to outscore you.
Going crazy.
And we have trust in our defenders.
I see you, Sam. Yeah.
Is he there?
Go finish off what you're saying.
But he had trust that with our defenders and the quality that we had, we will limit the chances of the counters that we will have against us, and then we will go and counter them and score.
I agree.
100%. As for Sam told me in the comments, I'm going to read out the super chats for him. Big up. Big up to LFC side with the super chat. Thank to God, I don't have to watch this football for the next 2 months. FSG has big decisions to make in the summer. Thanks to King, Mo, Robbo, and the legends. Big up. Hussam. Big up Nasir for the $4.99 super chat. Keep calm, fellas. We're getting Minter, Truda, Van Hecker. We ain't paying 100 million euros for either Barcola or Diamande. Congrats, Haki Hussam, for the engagement. Big up Hussam for the engagement as well.
Also, can we not make the team into the Netherlands national team? Because I'm hearing what's his name from Inter Milan?
Dumfries.
Oh my word.
Why can't we get linked to the better Dutch players instead of the crappy Dutch?
No, but the thing is, I wouldn't even mind Dumfries if that was it. He's a solid right back, something we need. Like, I ain't got a problem with Dumfries. Just all the other riffraff we've been linked with.
No, I'm done with the Dutch. No more Holland.
No. There's some good Dutch players, but we're not linked.
I don't care. I don't care. There are other countries on this planet. There are 271 other countries that you can go recruit from. Go to those 270 other countries.
We need to bring in Brazilian players, please. We need to get some grit in this team. I want to see us linked to some African players.
Yeah, no, I can't lie. I need somebody from Kenya or like Nigeria or something like that.
So basically Sangario Camara, basically.
That's what I'm saying.
I want these language now.
Or anybody that's from
signings this summer, please.
Or anybody that's from France, their parents back home are from Africa.
Yes,
you get me?
I want French.
Yes, either or.
French that's not French. I want French players that's not French.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want.
Sam, what do you mean I gotta go, bro? Sam, what do you mean I gotta go? I need you to put the super chats up for me, bro. What we doing? What's going on? Oh, geez, this guy. Okay, I just have to read through the rest of them then. Big up Nasir. I know it's not on screen, but I appreciate it. I'm going to read it out for you guys. Big up Nasir. Who's JPM?
Here he is.
John Philippe.
John Philippe at
Mateta.
Mateta at Palace for 1 year loan, or
Shirt
Oyata.
tucked in.
I don't know about that, you know. I don't know about that.
Loan. Paris ain't gonna loan him.
Run me, Jaded dance. Give me dance. Give me dance. If that's the options, give me dance.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Big up Mr. Sinclair for the 299. Was the title handed to Arsenal less than 2 games in?
Ask
10
the
games in,
PGMOL.
sorry.
Ask
Big
the
up
PGMOL.
Big up Mr. Sinclair again. Klopp, the burnt out manager, finished third, 82 points. Slot won the league, finished on 84 points. People said Klopp couldn't do it with the same squad. When bigging up Slot, now Arsenal won it at 82 points. Crazy, yeah.
I know we all agree that Slot, if he stayed another season, he would have won it because we practically
won
won the
both.
league in the first part of the season. That was
We
it.
won the league with his system. That's what we did.
Won back to back. He won last and this season.
We won it with his players.
Yeah.
Big up Job JW for the super chat. Super chat. Watch Slot put Vias.
No, please.
What Slot put Vias
Please,
at
no.
right wing to replace Salah? Oh Lord of mercy.
No, not doing that.
No.
I beg if that happens next season,
No.
I beg
No.
one of you man in the chat, one of you man on the panel, please just hand me a gun. Just hand me a
not
gun.
gonna happen.
No.
Can't play him right.
What do you mean it's not gonna happen?
That's not an
It's
option.
not gonna happen.
That's not an option, Ram. That's not an option.
That's not an option.
No, it's not an option.
Right wing first.
No.
Big up everyone. Obviously, it's time telling me to wrap it up. We will be redirecting to Judge Mo. So spam Forza Juve, Forza Milan, Forza Roma, Forza whatever Italian club except Inter. Big up everyone. I don't know how many people there are in the chat. Big up every single one of you. If you haven't already liked the video, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Big up Mike, big up Emeka, big up Pops, big up Dean, big up Sam, big up Sam as well. And we will see you guys in the next one. Big up everyone, and we out.
Bless.